Welcome to Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. Saints welcome in the Walnut Creek Crawdads for a mini two-game series tonight and tomorrow as they look to bounce back from a rough loss last night against the Bombers. Good evening, folks. Max Langer with you alongside Dylan DeCesare. And Dylan, only 2 games left here of the 6-game homestand. The Saints have gone 1-3 on the homestand thus far and are going to have to be a lot better tonight against the North's best team in the Crawdads if they want to pick up a W.
Yeah, I mean, Walnut Creek, they're having an amazing year, 18-5 record. Truly one of the premier teams in the CCL this season. Last year we were a bit shaky, but they're amazing at home, and on the road they're 6-2, so they're looking to come here and get a result. All-time 2-3 versus the Arroyo Seco Saints. Last matchup was a 16-4 win for Arroyo Seco. So the Crawdads looking to write that script a bit, but they have an amazing lineup. They're hitting for so much power, one of the best extra base hitting teams in the entire league. For the Arroyo Seco Saints, last night was just more of the same. The pitching not really clicking, and the hitting, the bat just came alive too late. Saw some of those guys like Cannon King and Brandon Wynn come alive a bit, but it's got to be full complete team performance like we saw last week versus the Barons.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough defensively last night. A number of errors, not just in the field, but on the mound as well. The hitting was there, but it was not fully there, and the pitching, of course, giving up 10 runs isn't gonna cut it. You're gonna see a matchup tonight between two teams that really don't see each other a lot from the North and the South. This is the Saints' first time against a North team other than their 3-game set at Slow, and this the first time that the Crawdads will see a South team all season other than the affiliate teams. We'll come back in a little bit after the national anthem with the starting lineups, the first pitch, and all the action from tonight. Max Langer and Dylan DeCesare with you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be right back. Back here at Jackie Robinson Field, Pasadena, California. Saints and Crawdads. First time in the next 2 days that these teams will play each other here at 5:35, the first pitch scheduled, and tomorrow night also at 5:35 between the Crawdads and the Saints. The North and South opponents, Saints come in with a record of 7-15. 2 games left on this homestand, both against Walnut Creek. The Crawdads come in 18-5, second in the North, just behind the Blues. And you look at those 5 losses, 3 of them came in that series against Slow. So 18-2, if you take out those games, they are one of the North's East's best teams and are almost assuredly heading for the playoffs. So a really good test for the Saints as they try to make one last push and get into the playoffs here in the CCL South.
Yeah, man, the thing about the Crawdads, they're an amazing team. They play in the North, which, has some weaker teams in there, but they're definitely on the upper echelon of those teams. Them and the Blues are leaps and bounds above a lot of those other teams. So against the Saints, it could be a solid matchup, especially they're coming off a long road trip, about 4 or 5 hour drive down from Walnut Creek or Danville area. So coming off the bus, it can be pretty difficult. However, the Saints, they need to bring their A game today, and Edwin Segovia is going to have to really hold it down. 5 innings pitch last time out, gave up those runs, but thing he provides, he gives strikes. He throws it in the zone, doesn't walk a lot of guys, and they're going to need the defense to fire on all cylinders. But like you said, Max, yesterday, it wasn't really the day for the defensively for the Saints.
Looking to bounce back today. Let's take a look at the lineup that Edwin Segovia will face, making his 3rd start of the year. Daniel Polasic, the left fielder for Walnut Creek, will lead it off with TJ Woodston, the premier shortstop, hitting second. Ryan Ellis, he's perhaps the greatest crawdad of all time, DHing with Riley Winchell, the star-studded catcher, hitting 4th. Bryden Bull, the center fielder, a former player of the week this season, is hitting 5th, with Kevin Parker Jr. hitting 3rd at 3rd base. In right field, it's Dylan Perez, Barrett Ronson, one of our other broadcaster, Riley Horn's good buddy, and Lucas Carlisle is at 2nd base and hitting 9th. They will face the righty for Arroyo Seco, making his 3rd start of the year, 4th appearance overall, Edwin Segovia.
Yeah, like I said, Segovia, he'll be a lot in the zone. He's going to make everything playable for this defense. So it's about how does this infield, the middle infield, probably the strongest it can be in Freer at short and at second, Braden Flores. That's probably the best middle infield the Saints have had the entire season. How are they going to work together? Cam Andrews is going to be on him to call a great game and navigate a really dangerous Crawdads lineup.
Steamy 86 degrees here in Pasadena. Sun is out and shining. 5:39 the local time. At Jackie Robinson Field, off we go with Segovia going with the fastball, and it's outside and high. Ball 1 to Polasic. Segovia, one of the only guys on this Saints roster who does not feature the fastball as his primary weapon. More than half the time, he'll go with the slider.
Yeah, that breaking ball. I mean, if you can start laying that slider, another thing he has kind of a cutter type pitch, which kind of backs up on him, and he can create some interesting spin on it, but hey, like you said, that slider, he'll kind of command with it. Has fastball, doesn't command with it like many other guys in the league, like you said, but it's still going to be utilized. I mean, you need to utilize a fastball some way or another.
Polasic, the left fielder for Walnut Creek, playing in his 12th game of the year at a cool 300 average in the leadoff spot. On a 2-1, he takes a fastball over the inside corner, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, that's firm down and in. And it's about starting out ahead. I mean, Segovia did start out behind, but getting through this first inning unscathed could be a really good note to start on.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Segovia comes home, and Polasic carves it to right field. Ryder on the run. He will get there and make the catch, and runs away. Polasic gave it a ride, but right at Ryder for the first out of the game.
However, we get that first out is good. Again, this first inning has plagued Arroyo Seco all season long. How do they get through it? How do they kind of just start to manufacture something on this side of the ball? And then when they get to the offensive side, hitting-wise, they need to start getting those bats alive. I mean, starting off early is always the best recipe.
Well, Segovia struggled his last time out against the Barons. Again, 5 runs in 5 innings pitched, but he has been really good this season in the first and second innings, starting off the game for the Saints. This, the 4th straight Wednesday that he'll go for Arroyo Seco on the mound, 3rd time in the starting role. Let's take a look at the Saints defensively. Panarisi, Cheer, Ryder from left to right across the outfield. 3rd to 1st, Asperger, Freer, Flores, and Late, with Camden Andrews, who just caught strike 1, doing the catching for Segovia. Saints, of course, coming off a discouraging loss last night, 10-4 to a Bombers team that they'd beaten twice so far this season, and just makes the playoff push that much harder. Fly to center field, Cheer going back towards the wall, coming in now to make the catch for out number 2. Another good swing off the bat of a Crawdad, but right at Brody Cheer, making his first start of the season for the Saints, and 2 up and 2 down in the first.
Yeah, it's something the Crawdads have to adjust to. They've played in plenty of other parks this entire season, but their home park in Monte Vista High School up there in Danville, it's pretty short all around, the outfield. The walls are way more in than here in Arroyo Seco. So it'll be something to kind of adjust to, but they're putting on good swings.
First pitch to Riley Ellis is popped up. Left field, Panarisi going back. He's underneath it, and he's got it for out number 3. 3 flyouts in a scoreless 1-2-3 first inning for Edwin Segovia. Saints coming up when we come back. Scoreless top of the first for Edwin Segovia. Saints coming up in the bottom of the first. Just a few minutes ago, changed their lineup. Here it is. Jacob Freer will lead it off for one of the first times this season. Braden Flores, haven't seen him in a 2-hole much, but he's here today after getting the day off yesterday. Zach Lake, the first baseman, is hitting third with Carson Panarisi cleaning up in left field. Sean Asperger hitting fifth, is at third base with Camden Andrews catching. Cannon King, second straight day in the 7-hole and DHing with Evan Ryder in right hitting eighth. And Brody Cheer, his first start as a Saint, came into the game as a defensive replacement and got his first at-bat for Brandon Wynn yesterday, but he is hitting ninth in center. On the mound for the Crawdads is Alessandro Martinez.
Martinez has only given up 1 run unearned on this entire season. Last time out was 1 innings pitched, June 30th. Hasn't started a lot. Again, I think his second start, I believe, on the entire season.
Freer fouls it back on the first pitch. Martinez, again, only 8 innings this year, but only 1 run. And according to our data analytics guys, he is absolutely nasty on the mound. Another primary slider guy here in Martinez. In the dirt, and it's 1-1.
Like I said, Freer hasn't hit leadoff a lot this season. It's been Flores. Maybe it's a good look. Flores, again, on over 12 skid, the largest skid of his entire season. Before that was on base every single game.
1-1. Freer carves it foul, and it's 1-2. Jacobs got a 7-game on base streak coming into tonight, and didn't play yesterday against the Barons. In fact, none of the Saints All-Stars did. Flores, late, Freer all out of the lineup offensively, and Joe O'Regan, of course, not getting the start, and it cost them. They lose 10-4 and slip further back in the standings. 1-2, Martinez to Freer, and it's outside 2-2.
Yeah, we will see Joe, of course, tomorrow. So we'll see what he can bring kind of the plate. But, again, the Saints want to start off this mini-series midweek on the right foot.
2-2. Freer swings and misses for strike 3. Winchell will throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and Jacob Freer, newly into the leadoff hole, strikes out to begin the bottom of the first.
I mean, when you said he had nasty stuff, that's what he's showcasing right there. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets a swing on a miss just because it's so disgusting. Dives right in, kind of towards that back foot. Gets Freer swinging and down. Now it's time for Flores to do the leadoff duties in a sense.
So here is Braden playing in his 20th straight game, 20th game overall, I beg your pardon, most of any Saints player.
I mean, there's a reason for it. He's been one of the Saints' best players the entire season.
Heartbeat of the team, check swing, but he went around strike 1. Flores went down to the All-Star game Saturday in Reno and to speak of how good he's been this year with all the All-Stars, he still led off that game. That's how good he's been, and had a hit as the South beat the North in Reno, Nevada, 11-4 on the 4th of July. Outside, and it's 1-1. The number's still very high for Flores. 5th in the CCL in hits. He's got 3rd place in total bases, and despite not driving in a run recently, still up there in 5th place with 19 runs batted in.
He's on those leaderboards for a reason. I mean, he started off so well, and I mean, it's interesting to say. I mean, 0 for 12 is definitely a skin. I guess you can say he broke it in the All-Star game when he got that hit. But 0 for 12, it's better than a lot of the other guys have done this entire season.
Breaking ball outside, and it's 3-1. This is the first game that Flores is playing with the Saints in a week. Last played last Wednesday against the Barons, and then got the day off that Thursday against the Waves. Didn't play yesterday against the Bombers either. On a 3-1, he takes a breaking ball on the outside corner. Nasty slider from Martinez to run the count full.
Yeah, it is that fastball. It is that slider. Both of those pitches lands in there for a strike a good amount of the time. And that slider is going to be that good night pitch, but full count. Flores needs to stay alive.
Payoff pitch to Flores is in the dirt, ball 4. Great plate appearance from Braden Flores. Back in the Saints lineup for the first time in a week. He's on here with 1 out in the bottom of the 1st. Well, let's take a look at the Crawdads defensively. Pulisic, Bull, and Perez left to right across the outfield. 3rd to 1st, Parker, Woodson, Carlisle, and Ronson, with Riley Winchell doing the catching for Martinez. So the first base runner this game for the Saints, and no surprise here, it's Braden Flores.
Yeah, I mean, he might have moved down 1 spot, but still doing the leadoff duties right there.
Fastball away, ball 1 to Zach Late, who is another one of the Saints' 3 All-Stars this season. Despite arriving late to the season, no pun intended. Actually, I lied. It was intended.
Absolutely was.
He's got a towering stance in the left-hand batter's box and takes another slider on the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's so good about that slider is just he can navigate it wherever he wants, and we've seen it go to the top of the zone, land in for a strike on Flores, hug a bottom of the zone right there, just a backdoor, and then watch out if he goes back leg here to the late.
Ground ball, right side, right to Ronson. Goes to second for 1, back to first in time for a double play. 3-6-3 go the Crawdads, and Martinez faces the minimum in the 1st. Through 1 here in Pasadena, scoreless between the Saints and the Crawdads. Top second, scoreless in Pasadena. Edwin Segovia induces 3 flyouts in the first inning, and he'll face the middle of the Crawdads order. Winchell, Bull, and Parker Jr. due up for Walnut Creek and their head coach, Brant Cummings, who has been there 6 years. He is one of the nicest guys you will meet. Had a chance to talk to him about a month ago on a podcast that I host, and he talked to me about his team and how well they're playing offensively, and you can see it. Lead the CCL in home runs, third in extra base hits. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball from Winchell, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, just surpassed 150 wins yesterday. So congratulations to you, Coach. Started his career 2021 at the Crawdads. And since then, just reached that 150 mark.
Winchell grounds it foul, and it's 0-2.
So check out that podcast. I believe it's you, Calvin Kaplan, and
Sammy Fawn.
Sammy Fawn, yes. All
both,
3 of you guys.
Yeah,
doing
both
a great job.
Oaks broadcasters
Yeah.
and me. Oh, thank you very much.
CCL on the horizon, I believe, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Little side project. 0-2 in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I'm on social media. I see.
I know,
I see it all.
I know you're on social media. I see you there, man. You can't hide from anybody. 1-2 on Winchell. 3 homers on the year for Riley. He's very much the stereotypical low average, high slug catcher you'll see in baseball. And here in the cleanup spot for the Crawdads, 2-2.
Kind of holds the bat a bit interestingly. Not very high up, kind of more offset, kind of relaxed, if you will. Kind of keeping that bat low in the windup, but he can unload it.
Popped up. Right side, Flores back a couple of steps into short right center to make the catch. And all of the first 4 hitters that Edwin Segovia has faced have gotten under the ball, and there's 1 gone in the second.
Hey, it does not matter whatsoever how you get those outs. Just get through the inning and just leave it in the past. I mean, like you said, all 3 of them have been high up in the air to different spots. Last inning was to right field center, then left. Starting this one to Flores at second. He's inducing weak contact.
Bryden Bull, first pitch swinging, grounds 1 to second, and Braden Flores has made both outs here in the second inning. 5 up and 5 down for Segovia to begin his night.
And that's big to get a guy like Bryden Bull, who I'm sure we'll touch on him next time he comes up as well. But he's a heck of a player, the redshirt freshman, but now we'll bring up Kevin Parker Jr. in the 6th hole of 2 outs for Segovia.
Bull, the former player of the week, the first one to win it this season in the CCL, but Segovia retires him on 1 pitch. So here is Kevin Parker Jr. with 2 out and nobody on. He swings at the first pitch as well and flies it to center field. Cheer over to his right will make the catch for out number 3. 6 up, 6 down for Edwin Segovia. He's cruising right along here in Pasadena. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless between the Saints and the Crawdads. Middle of the Saints order coming up in the bottom of the second against Martinez. Panarisi hitting in the 4 hole. That's a surprise. Then Asperger and Andrews, who has moved up to the 6 hole catching for the second straight day against Martinez again. And we saw firsthand in the first how nasty his stuff can be. Gives up the walk to Flores, but immediately induces the double play ball off the bat of late. Panarisi 0 for 4 last night against the Bombers. It's been a little bit more of a struggle for him lately, and down in the 4-hole today as Freer, Late, Flores, the 3 All-Stars, move to the top of the order.
And just for reference, and we're talking about how nasty this guy is, he's throwing the slider 79 miles per hour, almost 3,000 RPMs on the spin rate, that's just absurd. That is an incredibly high number, so he spins it like no one else.
A ball and a strike on Panarisi. And he pops it up. Right side, Carlisle, the second baseman over. It will be the first baseman, Ronson, making the catch for out number 1.
I think from a Saints perspective, fellow broadcaster Riley Horn would love that put out, but from a friendship perspective, would love that one to Ronson, one of his good friends. Give us a text. I mean, you'll be here tomorrow as well to see his buddy, but that's one of the great things about collegiate ball. I mean, I got to meet some friends today as well, or just see them again, I guess you could say. So it's a crossroads, if you will. 1
out, nobody on for Asperger, who takes the first pitch, breaking ball outside. Congratulations to Barrett Ronson, as Riley Horn did tip us off. He committed earlier today to UC Riverside, so a big step in both his academic and athletic journey next year for the Crawdads first baseman today.
Yeah, I mean, went from St. Mary's to Santa Ana, out of Riverside. Went from north to south to a bit inland, but congratulations to him.
A ball and a strike on Asperger, who bounces it up the middle. It will be Woodson from short, bobbling it and into center field. So most likely going to be an error on the Crawdads shortstop. Wasn't going to be an easy play, a high chopper, but one you should make, and Asperger's on with 1 out in the second.
That's an absolutely brutal bounce to the shortstop in Woodson. I mean, it was unclear if that landed right on the bag or if it landed kind of on a dead spot, if you will, but yeah, we will see if that is ruled an error. It will be ruled a single. I think I agree with that. I mean, there's not really much a shortstop could do. I mean, could have made the play, but that's an oddity, if you will, how much that died.
Andrews swings and misses at the slider in the dirt, and it's 0-1. Still leads the Saints in stolen bases, does Andrews, and still remains the starter as well as Nick Nishiwa, the backup. Andrews now playing in his 16th game. Nishiwa has played in 8 of them. A runner on first base, and Asperger starts and stops, and Andrews lines it to second on a hop. Carlisle will flip the turn, and an easy double play as Andrews does not run well down the line. Second double play that Alessandro Martinez has induced in the first couple of innings, and we're scoreless to the 3rd. Top third, bottom of the Crawdads order as both starters, Martinez and Segovia, have faced the minimum through 2. It'll be Dylan Perez to lead it off. Perez, another Baylor guy, so is TJ Woodson in this Crawdads lineup. They are the Foresters of the North in the sense that they attract a lot of guys from those Southern SEC, Big Ten, Power 4 conference schools, and Perez one of them.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some guys. I mean, the only other Baylor guy the Saints have faced was that Forrester and Brady Janusek, and we know the talent he has.
Yeah, he killed him, too.
Yeah, I mean, great ball player. But you are absolutely right. They do like to flock to the Danville area.
Popped up, left center field. Coming in is Panarisi and over to make the catch. And how about Edwin Segovia? Retired the first 7 he's faced, 5 flyouts and 2 groundouts, and is just carving up this Crawdads order.
He's just throwing the right stuff and getting these guys to pop under it. I mean, he knows the Crawdads. They're swinging for the power. Maybe we'll shorten up next time around, but not a lot of these guys are going to really shorten up, just kind of get through the gap, if you will. They're going for big swings. They know they can get the extra base hit. 62 on the year, third, whole CCL.
This one is hit a lot better. Out to left field and over the head of Panarisi. It will one-hop off the wall, and Barrett Ronson, newly committed to UC Riverside, is into second base with a 1-out double.
And there's the barrels that they like to get. I mean, that one is hit so well, and if it didn't have the top spin on it, more backspin, that could have been gone. I mean, that went quite a ways. It's a solid piece of hitting from Ronson. I mean, have a day. Commit to your school for next year and get a double in your first at-bat.
Well, it seems like both of these teams coming out with an aggressive mindset, swinging at the first pitch a lot. And until that double by Ronson, hadn't really worked out for him. But now a runner in scoring position for Lucas Carlisle. Segovia's first pitch is in there for strike 1. Carlisle, one of the newer members of this Crawdads team, didn't play his first game until the 26th of June, and his 7th game so far today. 15 at-bats, he's got hits in 7 of them. So a small sample size, but Carlisle very effective so far in his time with Walnut Creek.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, they do come late to these programs and kind of all over the place for when they're going to get their game. Sometimes they leave a bit early, sometimes they leave a bit late. And July is when you usually get some of the best ball players coming through. So he's coming late, but still at the right time with a whole month left.
Ground ball, left side, great pick by Asperger, and the throw to first is in time. Well, we've seen a little bit the last couple of games, not maybe Asperger's best defense at third base. Some balls under his glove, but a fantastic pick here on a well-hit chopper by Carlisle, and there's 2 down in the third.
I mean, he's not really a third baseman. I mean, he's kind of been pushed there of Zach Late's arrival, but has shown that he can kind of field. And well, we've talked about this in the past. First and third can kind of go in hands, both hot corners in a sense. But he's doing a job, and he's getting a pretty good feel for the position as the season goes along.
Top of the lineup in Pulaski now. Flew to right in his first at-bat. Hit it hard, but right at righter. And he's got hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Does the Crawdads leadoff man. Scoreless here in the top of the third between the Saints and the Crawdads. They'll play today and tomorrow right back here at 5:35. Another pop-up, left side, Asperger back into short left to make the catch for out number 3. How about Edwin Segovia? Strands the 1-out double, and he's through 3 scoreless here in Pasadena. Through 2.5, still scoreless between the Saints and the Crawdads, two of the higher scoring offenses here in the CCL.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they can put runs up on the board, both of them. But today it's just been the pitching. I mean, when you go against Segovia, who you're just going to induce weak contact and it's going his way, and you go against the pitcher and Martinez, I mean, he's disgusting. We've talked about it. He's only gone 3 innings 2 times this season.
King checked his swing, checked down to third. He did not go. Ball 1. King with his 4th home run of the season last night, now in a 3-way tie for first in the CCL. It's him, it's Jason Delviar of the Barons, and the other guy, Brian Bull of the Crawdads, who we saw earlier. The thing with King is when he hits home runs, he doesn't just poke them over the fence. He absolutely crushes them. And we've seen a number high off the white netting out there, spanning from left center all the way down the line and right.
I mean, he's 5'10", but he's got so much muscle mass that he can go wherever he wants with it. I mean, sound like it broke a record, but the Tritons at UCSD, they've got a great ball player that put up a great season at UC or Cal State San Marcos, and he's going to continue doing great things for a UCSD team that's really on the trend up.
2-1. King taps it foul, and it's 2-2. Well, it's not surprising to see him DHing. He started off the season playing a lot in right field, but Evan Ryder has mostly taken that job away from him. It is a little surprising to see King all the way down in the 7 hole because it's not like he only hits for power. He's got the average and the on-base percentage up there, too, on this Saints team. Martinez comes home with a 2-2, and King swings through it. Strike 3. Second K of the day for Alessandro Martinez, and King is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, 3,000 RPM on the for the spin rate for that 78 miles per hour slider. I mean, there's a reason he's swinging and missing at that. That's just gross.
We talked about Martinez. 51% of the time he goes with the slider. 1 out, nobody on for Evan Ryder, who takes a slider, a little bit low for ball 1.
I mean, it helps when you can navigate it wherever you want. I mean, had King swinging through it down, he maybe can go up with it. He can go indoor, front door rather.
Popped up, shallow center field. Carlisle over into the short lawn and center to make the play for out number 2.
And just like that, another 2 quick outs. And that will bring up one of the new men in town.
Yeah, Brody Cheer came into the game last night. Got his first at-bat after taking over in center field for Brandon Wynn as a defensive replacement in the 7th. He hit in the 8th and did not get on, but looking for his first hit. Get on base for the first time here for the Saints with 2 down and nobody on.
Yeah, he flew out to right, so got a solid swing on it, but wasn't able to make anything happen. I mean, but these 2 infielders the Saints have gone in these last 2 weeks, Wynn and Cheer. I mean, on paper, these guys, they look great, and Cheer's going to be playing Nebraska. So Nebraska next year with Big Ten ball, had a team that was 2nd in the Big Ten. So big things coming up for him.
Chopper left side, not going to be an easy play, and off the glove of Woodson at short into left field. It'll go down as a hit, the first as a Saint for Brody Cheer, and he turns the lineup over in the 3rd.
Yeah, take however you can get in. If it's a chopper that's hit perfectly in the right place between the 3rd baseman and shortstop, then you get on base and take your 90 feet.
Well, Cheer replacing Brandon Wynn in center, who had started the last 7 games. Brody getting a start in center field tonight and a hit in his first at-bat against Martinez.
I mean, that one was 94 into the dirt as well, so that's a hard chopper. Just hit right into the perfect place for him to outrun. He certainly got some speed as well.
Freer with a runner on first base and 2 outs now, ahead 1 ball and no strikes in the count. Freer only 2 extra base hits on the year, but both of them have come in a big spot. He's driven in a run both times. Check over on Cheer, who's back safely well ahead of the tag. For the average at 279, he has been one of the Saints' more reliable options both at the plate and defensively. Got Cheer leaning, but Plenty of speed in the center fielder's legs and back to first safely again.
Yeah, really wanted to check on Shear. I mean, last year at McLennan, the JUCO he played to in North Texas, 13 stolen bases. So Shear, he's ready to go whenever.
Shear at first, Freer at the plate. And Jacob grounds one right side. On the backhand, it's Carlisle. Throw to first is in time. 2-out single from Brody Shear, but the Saints can't advance or score him, and we're through 3. Still scoreless between the Saints and the Crawdads. Top 4, 2-3-4 coming up for WCC, the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Woodson, Ellis, and Winchell against Segovia, who has breezed through the first 3 innings. Only one hit, the double off the bat of Ronson, and he'll face Woodson to begin the 4th. Woodson, the Baylor teammate with Dylan Perez, who we saw on the top of the 3rd. Woodson also leads the CCL in doubles. He's got 10 of them. 1-0 pitch, outside 2-0.
And he's nearing that Crawdads single-season record as well. I mean, he's in the ballpark. That just kind of shows the pace that this specific Crawdads team is on. They've got a really good ball club this CCL season.
Yeah, took down Menlo Park yesterday 19-4. Cracked on the ground and threw into left field. A base hit for TJ Woodson. Came into this one with hits in 11 of his last 12, make it 12 of 13 as he's on to begin the 4th.
Just getting hot at the right time. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do. CCL North All-Star for a reason. Now he's standing on first.
We talked about Pulasic, who's got hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Now Woodson, 12 of his last 13. But perhaps the most dangerous hitter in this Walnut Creek lineup is Ryan Ellis, who is at the plate right now. Runner takes off. Andrews won't even attempt to throw down. Maybe a little bit of interference with the bat, but looks like the umpires will allow Woodson to stay at second base. Andrews didn't get a great grip on the baseball. Would have been hard to get Woodson, who got a great jump anyway, but now a runner in scoring position for the Crawdads. Ellis, 391 the average on the year. Swings at the 0-1 from Segovia and grounds it up the middle off the glove of Freer into center field. Coming around to score is Woodson. Throw to the plate is not nearly in time, and the Crawdads have taken the lead here in the 4th. 1-0 on the RBI single from Ellis.
Yeah, that's Ryan Ellis effect for you. I mean, Mr. Crawdad is what they like to call him, and just did the exact job right there. He's at first, gets another RBI, extends his team lead. And what a year he's having. I mean, been a Crawdad for four years, I believe. This is his 4th now. He just loves wearing the red, black, and white.
Yeah, so many impressive parts of Ellis's game. The most important or impressive one, I should say, probably the slash line. The average we mentioned, 391, that's 7th in the CCL. The on-base percentage is all the way up there at 538. That's 4th in the CCL. And the slug, 674, is 2nd in the CCL.
And he's on pace for a single-season record in slugging in Crawdads history as well. I mean, that just shows you the pace he's on. And it's great for him because he's been kind of everywhere, all around the map. And Ryan Ellis, every single summer, comes back to Danville, puts in the work, and he's just getting increasingly better every single summer.
1-0 on Riley Winchell, who nubs it up the middle. Freer's there. He'll take it to the bag. Throw to first is not in time for the double play. Late can't pick it, and he goes down in a heap on the ground. That's not good. One of the Saints' most productive players now writhing in pain on the dirt. The Saints get the force out on second. Ellis out on the base paths.
Yeah, really.
But right now, the main concern is Zach Late over at first base.
We'll see what he's holding. I mean, it could be an ankle, could be a kind of an inner thigh area. I mean, maybe a groin injury. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to act like one, but that's a really hard one for Lay, and he's definitely in pain. And Flores, I think, maybe tried to do a bit too much on that play. Could have flipped it to Freer, then over to first. I mean, by no means am I saying that's Flores' fault, because you can't really predict that stuff. You can't really put on anyone, but a double play ball that was in the making just couldn't get finished, and we do hope Zach Lay is okay.
Winchell, the catcher, does not run well, but close play at first base regardless, and now the much bigger concern, Zach Late. And you got to feel for Zach. Of course, the last 2 weeks, probably some of the best baseball he's played. An all-star for a reason. He's got 4 extra base hits, really came onto the scene and snagged that first base job right away when he came to the Saints. And now a really tough moment here for the Saints all-star first baseman. Aaron Milam and 2 trainers are out there, the entire infield over as well.
Yeah, and he'll get up. He'll definitely in pain, have both the trainers, like you said, there, but Late going to pick up the glove. Yeah, he's not getting out of this game. I mean, this is a guy that, I mean, he's showing up day in and day out since he's gone here. I mean,
as tough as they come, and he's going to stick it out, at least for the time being. He's got the hands on the ankles right now. Still 2 trainers checking on him. Meanwhile, Bryden Bull is going to step into the batter's box for the Crawdads, and what's gone on in this game here in the 4th. Single from Woodson, steals second base, and then the base knock from Ellis. Tough play by Freer up the middle, but probably going to be ruled a single, and credit the RBI to Ellis. And 1-0 Walnut Creek, they strike first, and the Saints, who had a 2-0 lead last night, scored first against the Bombers, unable to do so here today.
Yeah, it was that 3rd and 4th for the Saints that kind of got out of hand. The 3rd inning, they've gone past Segovia, now giving up his first run of the game, but still on a great pace right now. 28 pitches now through 3 and a third. And it looks like we're going to be set to get underway. Segovia's not going to take any warm-up pitches, so it'll just be straight into battle with Bryden Bull and Zach Late. See how much he's concealing in terms of the pain levels, but he's there at first.
So Winchell at first base and 1 out for Bull. Segovia comes home, and Bull takes a fastball strike. Bull with hits in 5 of his last 6. He's driven in a run in 4 of his last 6. And again, the first ever player of the week this season in the CCL, deservedly so. Hitter of the week, I should say. There was a pitcher that week, too. Swing and a miss. A hard swing at the fastball. And it's 0-2.
I think a thing to look at with Bryden Bull, I mean, we can see it in person, but he's a tall guy. He's about 6'5", bit over 200 pounds, and that's why he has so much just raw power.
Popped up. This is not going to be an easy play. Shallow left center field. Panarisi can't get there. Winchell had to wait to see if it would drop. He's just now getting to second base on the bloop single by Bryden Bull, and 3 of the first 4 in the 4th have reached for the Crawdads. They've got him at first and second with 1 out for Kevin Parker Jr.
And that's just the triangle of death right there for the shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder for Arroyo Seco. You can't really do anything about that. Just move on to the next guy and get Kevin Parker Jr. now. But runners on first and second, so one in scoring position. Crawdads already struck first, looking to build on it, pulling one out.
Parker Jr. flew to center his first time up. Runners at first and second here. Fouls it back to the screen. This has kind of been the story for the Saints this season, where they've had starters go out and look like they could retire anybody in the CCL, but another inning comes and maybe the stuff not as sharp, the location not as pristine, and a run in the bank for the Crawdads here in the fourth. Segovia would love a grounder.
Didn't have a good feel for that slider. And now Segovia, I mean, we'll see how much it unravels. Right now, all he needs is just something unproductive.
Parker, the Texas Southern guy, has stretched this year where he drove in a run in 7 consecutive games. Looking to drive one in here. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
I mean, I could tell you something. The approach for all these Crawdads guys is, let's get extra bases. I mean, let's swing away, hack away. It's worked all season long. We'll see it at one point. Some of these guys start to shorten up. Maybe saw Ryan Ellis and a couple of the other guys that have gone hits in this inning. Come up on the bat a bit and just try to drive something through.
Segovia's 1-2 is in there for strike 3. Gets Parker Jr. looking. A huge second out here in the fourth for Segovia, and his first strikeout of the game.
I mean, I said they needed something unproductive, and there's nothing more unproductive than a strikeout. Great job from Segovia. Get his first strikeout of his entire outing, and that's massive. Now can go to 3-2 or 1 to get out of this inning.
And he'll face a guy in Dylan Perez who is 3 for his last 19 at the plate. Perfect recipe for Segovia to get out of this with as little damage as possible. Poke down the line and into left field. Perez does come through. A run is in. Here comes a second run. Throw to the plate is not in time. 2-run double from Dylan Perez. He drives in Winchell and Bull. And the Crawdads have put a 3 spot here in the fourth and lead the Saints 3-0.
And that's just a great piece of hitting. Goes opposite. Asperger's not going to be hugging that third base line. Just goes inside out on it. But with how much foul ground there is here in Jackie Robinson, that just adds so much more to it. Allows the 2 runs to come across. Those guys were ready to go in any contact on with 2 outs. So just like that, Crawdads up 3-0. Segovia, I mean, he's had a good outing, but just a couple hits. Just 3 pitches really have gone away from him.
3 runs in for the Crawdads. They've got Perez at second base, fresh off the 2-run double. Scored both Winchell and Bull. And a disastrous inning for the Saints. The 3 runs in, the concern of how Zach Late is doing over at first base. And after the first 3 innings took just 30 minutes, Segovia and Martinez breezing through them. The fourth here much harder, I should say, for the Saints righty. In there 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for Segovia here is just attack this next guy, keep throwing strikes. Maybe see him go one more after this. Again, the pitch count's not really a concern. It's when you have someone that just stays in the zone a whole lot and you get figured out, I mean, it unravels from there, and that's kind of when your day has to come to a close. He's gone 5 innings. That's how much he's gone all season long.
Popped up right side. Late over into foul ground, and he makes a terrific catch, lunging back to his right as that ball spun back towards fair territory. But the Crawdads get 3 in the fourth. The RBI single from Ellis, the 2-run double from Perez, and they lead the Saints as we head to the home half of the inning. 2-3-4 coming up for the Saints as they trail the Crawdads 3-0. 2 RBI knocks for Ellis and for Perez. And Braden Flores will look to get it started here in the fourth against Martinez, who through 3 innings has been just as good as Edwin Segovia was through 3 for the Saints.
Yeah, 2 hits on the game for Arroyo Seco. 1 from Asperger, 1 from Brody Shear last inning.
Swing and a miss from Flores. Braden, the only Saints base runner other than Brody Chair to reach base so far. He drew a 1-out walk, but was immediately raced when Zach Lake grounded in to a 3-6-3 twin killer.
We talked about it. Flores still second on the team in average. He's gone on base via the walk, as Braden Flores often does. Second on the team in walks behind Asperger and Robinette. I mean, they'll take another walk here. I mean, Flores is the guy that he'll go 0 for 2 in a game with 5 at-bats, and 3 in a row were just via the walk.
Checked his swing, and he went around 2-2.
I mean,
Talk about how nasty
disgusting,
Martinez has been. You can see it on the field. When you're checking your swing 4, 5, 6 times a game that the Saints have done, that's an indication that they really don't know what's coming.
Okay, they want to go for something in the dirt, but it's just the slider of that ridiculous spin rate.
2-2. Flores lays off, and the count goes full. Second time that Flores has worked it to 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's going to do it and try to drag out Martinez, it's going to be Flores. This is the farthest he's worked all season long. 3 has been the max, so.
Line towards left and in there for a base hit. Flores snaps the 0 for 13 with a base hit the other way, and he's on to begin the fourth.
And that'll feel really good for Braden. Just letting the bat do the work, finding that gap right past the third baseman and Kevin Parker Jr. That brings up Zach Lay, who did have that injury scare, but then ended the inning with a fantastic play, pop-up down the first base side. So the kid's going to be all right.
Well, Late, who hasn't played in a Saints uniform since June the 30th, before tonight, looking to spark a rally here with Flores at first base. You mentioned the scare. Didn't look good for him over there at first base, but give him a lot of credit for staying in both defensively to finish the half inning, and a sign that he's really okay. He's taking his next at-bat here in the fourth.
He was in a lot of pain as well.
Late ground ball left side. That'll sneak into left field, a base hit. Flores will cut the bag and head for third. The throw, nobody covered third base. Just getting there in time is the shortstop Woodson. But Flores is in there. 2 hits to start the inning for the Saints, and they've got him cornered for Panarisi.
Braden Flores was flying around second. That's heads-up base running at its finest. To seize the ball, go to the outfield, notices no one's covering third, picks up on that mistake from Walnut Creek, and he's off to the races. Use that 90 feet, conquers all of it. Now runners on the corners for Arroyo Seco with no out. Panarisi here, I mean, he has a chance to break the scoreless game so far for Arroyo Seco.
Only 3 runs driven in on the year for Panarisi, but would love to get another one here. First pitch, inside corner, strike 1. Here's an interesting note on Panarisi. They're 5-13 when he plays. That's not the interesting part. But he's hitting 150 in the game the Saints win and 333 in the games the Saints lose.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing. I mean, if they win and he does bad, just hope he doesn't do well and wins, or do you hope he kind of breaks a slump? I mean, I think everyone here agrees. Hope he breaks a kind of slump. And we saw him pretty good in the kind of the middle part of June. Got a bit worse, but when he gets a good swing on it and gets good contact, I mean, it's often bullets off the bat.
0-2 on Panarisi. Got to put the ball in play, and he just stays alive. Nips the foul ball back to the screen.
And the problem here with Panarisi, first thing, I mean, when he takes that first pitch, no matter what it is, he gets increasingly better at getting on base. But when he's down 0-2, it's really in a hole because it's just full on survival. Doesn't walk a lot, strikes out a lot when he gets fully behind here.
Another 0-2, and Panarisi lays off, 1-2. Still hitting in the top half of the order is Panarisi, despite some struggles offensively, but we have seen him this season when he's at his best at the plate. He is driving in Braden Flores in the top of the lineup. He is throwing out guys in left field to end crazy games against the Philippines baseball group. Saints with a little rally here in the fourth. First and third, nobody out. See if they can take advantage of it.
Yeah, you feel if Carson, again, a guy that hasn't had the easiest of goes recently, if he gets through here, it's going to be explosive.
1-2, ground ball to third, picked by Parker, go to second for one, over to first, a double play. Panarisi, 5-4-3. The Crawdads go. That's already the third double play they've turned this game. Freer will come in through the back door to score a run. No, that is Flores, I beg your pardon. But no RBI credit to Panarisi, who grounds into the DP. Saints are on the board, though. It's 3-1.
I mean, brings home the run anyways. They do kind of knock at the door there, but not really that bat Panarisi wanted.
The base is now empty for Sean Asperger. Good job putting the ball in play, but on the ground, and the slider is a pitch that a lot of guys roll over on, and you're seeing it on display tonight. 3 twin killers already. Swing and a miss from Sean Asperger.
Glad his bat's in the lineup. I mean, we talked about him playing third. Hasn't had the easiest of goes, but had a great play earlier in the game, and it's because his bat has just been more and more alive, and he has great swings.
Been in there much more recently, last 10 days, 2 weeks or so. And a lot of it because of the power he can provide. For example, last night came into the game with 2 home runs in his last 2 games. Now, he didn't make it 3 home runs in 3 games, as Brandon Wynn, his teammate, did. Wynn out of the lineup tonight. There's still no word on him that we have heard. He came out last night in the 7th, and it's still a pretty close game, and Brandon, one of the Saints' best offensive players, so you got to hope everything's okay with him, especially him being out of the lineup tonight. 3-1, Asperger swings away and crunches it foul down the right field line.
Heck of a swing. I mean, that's what we talk about with Sean Asperger. I mean, gets off the bat in a hurry. Not that one, not really high in the velocity department, but he just ropes solid swings, but just gets pretty unlucky a lot of the time.
Martinez's payoff is outside ball 4. Good plate appearance from Sean Asperger. Works a walk against Alessandro Martinez, and Cam Andrews will come up representing the tying run. Andrews got his first extra base hit of the season yesterday, an RBI double. Would love another one here to potentially drive in Asperger, or a home run could tie it up. Though did not have a great night behind the plate last night. Throwing error in the 3rd inning opened the door for the 5-run third that the Bombers had, and took a lead that they would not relinquish, beating the Saints 10-4 and pushing Arroyo Seco back in the playoff picture. Another swing and another miss, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, and the Saints, mine's about one pretty bad game versus Santa Barbara. They performed pretty well against the upper echelon of teams in the CCL. Because those top 3 power-ranked teams, this one will be the Crawdads, the 3rd of the top 3. We'll see how they do here, but they've kind of stepped up to occasions, but they've also played down to competition.
Yeah, you make a good point. Just haven't had the consistency. Andrews digs it out, pops it up. The shortstop, Woodson, over to his left to make the catch for out number 3. Saints get on the board, though. Grounded into a double play. Flores comes in to score through the back door, and it's 3-1 to the 5th. Top of the fifth, Edwin Segovia still out there trying to preserve what is a 2-run deficit now for the Saints as they got one back in the bottom half of the inning. Flores gets on and comes around to score. It is Segovia against the 9-1-2 in the Crawdads order. Carlisle then back to the top, and the third time through for Segovia against Pulaski and Woodson.
Yeah, entering this third time through, like you said, this could be his last inning of work, and I said it earlier, but when you're a guy that has two main pitches, fill up the zone with both of them. Sometimes you throw a third. I mean, this is kind of the time where you're going to get figured out. We'll see how he does when he gets to Pulaski and Woodson, but first he's finished off Carlisle's second at bat of the game.
Saints still very much in this game against a Crawdads team that has beaten pretty much everybody outside of San Luis Obispo that they've played this year.
Yeah, they're going to go back to slow after this two-game stretch, though. They went all the way south, now working back north. And that will be just a big series. Both those teams, first and second in the north, most likely will play each other at some point in the postseason.
Breaking ball and a beauty for strike two. Yeah, this is the first of a 3-game road trip for the Crawdads. Again tonight, tomorrow here against the Saints at 5:35. The Saints all-star pitcher Joe O'Regan is scheduled to start that one. Swing and a miss. Segovia gets Carlisle by way of the K. Third strikeout of the day for Segovia, and there's one gone in the fifth.
And he swung fully through it. Segovia just put something high in the zone. It was eye candy. And went back to the dugout with none.
So here's the third time through. Pulaski, though, 0 for 2. Flew to right and popped to third. Line drive center field coming on as Cheery's not going to get there. A base hit. Off the end of the bat a little bit, but Cheer playing deep in center field, not able to get there, and a 1-out single. First hit of the game for Pulaski. Now hits in 10 of his last 11 contests.
Continues to hit. First one of the day, yes, but like you said, is on a streak of sorts, continuing to do well off the bat. And he's standing on first now.
So here's Woodson, who started that 3-run top of the fourth. Runner goes on a ground ball right side and through. The hit and run executed to perfection, and the Crawdads will have him at the corners as Pulaski takes third on TJ Woodson's second hit in as many innings.
Now a scary guy comes up to bat in Ryan Ellis. Official's going to have a conversation, but rearranged now. You have Ryan Ellis, RBI single last time up, flew out the first time, yes, but is the guy that has came through time and time again for the Crawdads in their whole history.
Average now up near 400 on the season for Ellis. The DH today for the Crawdads. Runners at the corners, a check over on Woodson, who's back with a head first slide. We looked at what happened when the Saints pitched Segovia last Wednesday. It was Segovia to Vergara, and that was it. That's how they beat the Barons 6-5. But Segovia struggling a little bit more here. We'll see if they opt to go to Vergara the rest of the way or maybe use some of the other guys on their staff. But last night had to use a number of guys as well. Wyatt Toth came out of the game early. Brendan Mullen came into the game. A number of guys used. So the Saints maybe a little bit short on the pen today. And, of course, they've got a game tomorrow as well. And with Joe O'Regan, of course, he pitched last Saturday as well in the All-Star game. Obviously a great moment for him, but it does put the Saints pitching staff at a little bit of a deficit here tomorrow.
Joe's a guy that can go for length if he's on. So that'll be an interesting watch.
Ellis takes ball 2 as Woodson starts and stops at first.
Yeah, I do think the Vergara play, it's definitely on. I mean, you could see him come in, have those 4 innings pitched, no runs. I mean, one of the best performances we've seen from a reliever all season long. Ferrario Seco has to go up there, that Cash Carroll performance in one of his first games early on in the season. But you also have guys like Hudson Carvalho that can also come in.
Line to right and foul. Man, Ellis smoked it off of the bat. 106, the exit velocity, but just out in front of it. And And the Saints very fortunate there. Crawdads still threatening, though, here in the 5th. Pulasic at third, Woodson at first. And Ellis at the plate. Doesn't get any easier afterwards as well. Winchell, who's got a ton of power, and then Bryden Bull, who can do everything well on a baseball diamond. 2-1. Runner finally goes. Andrews throws down and not in time. Pulasic did not take off for home. Andrews got the ball down to Freer quickly, but it will be a successful stolen base for TJ Woodson. Now 2nd and 3rd for Walnut Creek.
And that's a big stolen base. I mean, you saw the stolen base last inning from Woodson, which ended up manufacturing the run, him scoring on Ellis RBI. Looking to kind of copy and paste this one, but this time Ellis has another guy on the diamond to bring home.
Hitters count for Ellis, 3-1. Segovia delivers, and Ellis watches it miss outside, ball 4. Bases are loaded. The last 3 hitters for the Crawdads have reached single walk, and the bases are juiced for Riley Winchell.
It's not a guy that walks a lot of batters, so when Segovia does walk someone, it becomes a bit concerning in a sense. Just lost control of the pitches. Andrews going to have a talk with him, give him a pat on the back, and Segovia, well, he's inning to finish. He's going to take a deep breath, look up, but all Segovia can do is do what he does best. Pitch in the zone, induce weak contact, use that breaking ball however he can. Corners of the infield are in as well, ready to pounce on home and protect this lead if they need.
The first pitch to Winchell. High ball 1. There's a big hole on the left side of the infield as well, as Freer is shifted over towards second base to try to hold Woodson right there. This is a guy the Saints could turn a double play on. Remember, they almost did it last time, but Zach Late got injured trying to get the pick to complete the DP. Ground ball left side, and Winchell puts it through the hole. A run in, here comes the second. The throw to the plate is offline. 2-run single for Riley Winchell, and the Crawdads lead it 5-1.
You mentioned it, Max, the massive gaping hole between third and short. And Winchell sees it, attacks it well, and just places it perfectly in the middle between the two.
Segovia, big fastball guy, put it on the outside corner, and Winchell did what he had to do. Took it right through the left side. Going to have the pitching coach, Matt Stone, come out here as the infield gathers together on the mound. Could this be it for Segovia? No, maybe just a discussion, at least for now.
Yeah, I mean, just a meeting. I mean, you have one meeting, and the second one you got to take the guy out. Maybe buying a bit of time for a guy in the bullpen to warm up. We'll see if we can kind of identify that.
So after Segovia struck out Lucas Carlisle to begin the half inning, single, walk, single, and 2 in the bank for the Crawdads. They lead the Saints now 5-1. And this game getting a little bit away from Arroyo Seco. And here is, along with Ellis, one of the most dangerous hitters in the Crawdads lineup, Bryden Bull, who is 1 for 2. He singled and was driven in by Perez later in the 4th inning. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Segovia's first pitch is swung on and missed. Man, Bryden Bull takes some violent hacks at the fastball.
I mean, when you're up 5-1 here, 2 runners on, and someone that's 4 home runs on the year, tons of extra base hits, swing away, why not? You have the power to do amazing things.
Another fastball, and it misses downstairs, 1-1.
I was able to identify that pitcher. Do believe it is Vergara, we talked about a bit earlier. That would be set to come into the game. We'll cross that bridge once we get there, Max, but still Segovia is inning to finish.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 on for the Crawdads. Bull pops it up, foul off to the left and out of play.
Ooh. heard that one through the headset, just coming down really hard in the bleachers right behind us.
Now that's a big one. I've started to go, and I'm not doing it right now, so I'm being a hypocrite, to a little bit more of the professional style where you take one ear out so you can hear everything surrounding you.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see all the pro guys do it, so I'm going to go for it myself, obviously. Excuse me, 1-2 on Bull. Segovia check, the pitch, high drive, deep to right field, but he got under it. Ryder over will make the catch for out number 2. Tagging and then going back to second base is Ryan Ellis. And just missing that one was Bull. 2 outs now in the 5th.
It's not quite the exact swing he wanted, but saw in a beautiful place that Bryden Bull attacks time and time again. Saints, lucky that one stayed in. Something to mention, that was a great throw by Evan Ryder to hold that runner at second who was ready to tag and had to retreat back to 2. So now 2 outs. Segovia has a real chance to finish this inning.
For all the struggles they've had defensively, the Saints in the outfield from a defensive perspective have been very good this season. The throw power from the arms, talk about backing up plays to prevent runners who might have stolen a base from getting another. Panarisi, the walk-off throw among his highlights in left. Been very good out there from left to right for the Saints. 1-0 on Kevin Parker Jr., low and inside now 2-0. You imagine the Saints would love to get Segovia through the 5th, then go Vergara for the last 4, and reset tomorrow with a pitching staff that will have had the day off other than these 2 righties.
Yeah, we'll see how they can rebound after the Crawdads putting now 5 on the board. I would like to see Vergara go those 4 and really help out the Saints staff.
Parker takes a change up, 2-1.
They do have options out the pen, but we've seen time and time again O'Regan kind of after him. We've seen some Rickman. We've seen some Carvalho after O'Regan's outings, or once he's out of the game around the 6th or 7th inning.
Parker to left center field. That is caught on a line by Panarisi. The Saints outfield defense flashing the leather again. Panarisi over to his left and into the gap to pick off the 100-mile-an-hour hit off the bat of Kevin Parker. But the Crawdads get 2 more. They lead the Saints 5-1 as we head to the home half of the 5th. Crawdads on top 5-1 as we head to the home half of the 5th. Halfway home here at Jackie Robinson Field. The Saints looking to spark a rally as Alessandro Martinez back out there for the 5th. And as we start this inning, I will hand the play-by-play off to my broadcast partner, Dylan DeCesare. Dylan?
Thank you so much, Max. In this bottom of the 5th, 7-8-9 due up for Arroyo Seco, Cannon King, Evan Ryder, and Brody Cheer. And the Saints, I mean, down 5-1, got 1 run on a double play that Carson Panarisi hit to. What's got to go right for Arroyo Seco this inning to start getting those bats alive?
Yeah, I mean, they got to get runners on, first of all, and put some pressure on Martinez. Only the one inning where they scored in the fourth, and immediately a double play to erase the threat. But they got to get guys on. They got to cash them in. I know it's pretty simple to say, but you just got to do it at this point, down 4 runs.
And it's been difficult against a guy like Alessandro Martinez. 4 innings pitched so far today, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 55 pitches, and 4 innings of work. 0-1 to King. Leaves that one low. Struck out last time up. And a lot of these guys see the heater, and that's what they like to hit. But Martinez excels in the sense that he's a slider guy. I mean, goes with that pitch a lot of the time. That one outside, it's 2-1. King now 316 on the year. 2-1 outside. Count goes 3-1. The first real chub Martinez has had.
Yeah, this is exactly what you need, though, if you're the Saints. Leadoff walk, beautiful right here. And last night they were down 4 in the second half of the game, and they tried to steal. Advise Ken and King, take your walk and stay at first if it ends up that way.
King leaves a low. Takes that 4th pitch for a ball. 10th walk of the year for King. He gets on base for the first time today.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do if you're the Saints, is get base runners like I mentioned, and exactly not what you want to do if you're the Crawdads. You never want to give up a leadoff walk, but especially not after you've given up runs in the top half of the inning. That is when it's most important to put up a 0 coming back on the pitching side.
Now up, Evan Ryder in the 8 hole. Was originally in the 6 hole, but got swapped with Cam Andrews. That one in first strike, and Ryder last week went 5 for 9 in those 2 games played. 2 RBIs, a home run, and also had a robbery out in right field. Kind of in those books for Saints Player of the Week. Team him and Brandon Wynn. Hopping off first and going's King. Pickoff move to first, and that's well in time. Too aggressive for Arroyo Seco. It's been kind of the story on the base paths for the Saints, and King will head out to the dugout. That's the first out.
Yeah, I just don't understand going right there situationally. Your team's down 4 runs. You've just got a guy on. You're trying to spark a rally, and going to second base, what does it give you right there that you wouldn't have at first base? Yes, you've got a guy in scoring position, but the risk-reward just isn't there, and this is the 3rd time the Saints have done this in the last 2 games.
In on the hands, Ryder swings through, maybe got a piece of the knob. Besides that, it is 0-1. Rather 0-2 now. Yeah, and certainly an aggressive situation to steal. We see the Saints do that time and time again. Just has not worked out. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt, throw down to first. That is well in time to Ronson. So just like that, 2 outs, and Martinez hasn't worked this deep into a game all season long, and in this 5th continues to find success.
Yeah, you talk about the walk and the strikeout. Oftentimes, you got a guy on base, you see him get picked off. Maybe you want to try to make up for it, get a double, triple home run or something like that. But you can't try to swing for the fences against Martinez. That's how nasty his stuff is. How many times today have we seen the Saints chase that slider in the left-hand batter's box with the righty, or vice versa, the changeup with the lefty? And that's just what happens when you try to do damage on those types of pitches instead of being patient at the plate.
So after a meeting with head coach Brant Cummings, he'll stay in the game. I mean, maybe running high on his personal pitch count. A lot of guys kind of have personal pitch counts that they specifically are set to, depending where they go to college, what they're kind of looking at for the summer. But Martinez will stay out there. 2 outs in this bottom of the 5th to Brody Cheer. Goes first hit last time up in his second at-bat as a Saint. And we talked about Cheer for a second, but originally from Denver, Colorado, then went and played JUCO in North Texas at McLennan. And after 2025, committed to Nebraska, then played 2026 and continued to show his worth. 54 RBIs for his team in 2026. But ready for Nebraska ball in the spring. 1-1, 2 outs to Cheer. Leaves it low. It's 2-1.
And this will be a good thing for Cheer to face a guy as dangerous in Martinez in his first full game as a Saint. Obviously came in defensively last night, but this really his first time getting to go through the full game day routine and in the lineup. But facing a guy as dominant as this should give him a lot of confidence moving forward if he's able to be successful, and so far a base hit off him.
3 balls, 1 strike. Cheer, the latest addition to the Arroyo Seco Saints. Last outfielder to be added was Brandon Wynn, who he came in for yesterday. 3-1. In for a strike. Count goes full with 2 outs. Martinez to Cheer. Battle ongoing. Ready for Cheer. Back to the pitcher. Easy as it comes for Martinez. He's through 5 innings. Only 1 run on him. And we'll head to the top of the 6th. Crawdads up 5-1 here in Arroyo Seco. Top of the 6th here in Pasadena. Due up for the Crawdads. Dylan Perez, Barrett Ronson, and Lucas Carlisle at 7, 8, 9. And a new pitcher into the game for Arroyo Seco. It's Daniel Vergara.
Yeah, Vergara coming off of the appearance last Wednesday here against the Barons. That was his best appearance of the season. Went 4 shutout, and I've got some sources that said he could have and maybe should have won player of or pitcher of the week, I should say, this past week for the CCL. He was really good for the Saints and looking to build up upon it here.
Perez to lead things off. 2 RBI double. That one high up in the air to Panarisi. Gloves it. Quick first out for Vergara. I mean, he did go those 4 innings, 3 hits, like you said. I mean, I was saying it last inning, one of the most dominant relief performances from a Arroyo Seco Saints pitcher all season long.
Yeah, he was so good. And it wasn't just how good he was, it was how good he was in a high-leverage spot. In a game that the Saints absolutely had to win against a team they're fighting for the playoffs against, at least at the time last week. To be able to complete that game, close it out on the mound was so big.
Ronson, first baseman, swings through that one. We mentioned it before. UC Riverside committed today. Wonder if he was on the bus Sure, on the bus down when his Instagram says, gonna officially announce it.
Yeah, you know that rush of a feeling you get when you post that Instagram post? There's nothing like it.
0-1 Ronson. Chopped to late. He'll go tag it. And that's out number 2. So, couple quick pitches, 2 quick outs. That'll bring up Lucas Carlisle. Struck out last time up. 0 for 2 day.
Yeah, just continuing what he did last week is Vergara. You look at what he's doing. What made him so successful, in my opinion, we were both calling that game, was his ability to mix different pitches in different locations successfully, and he's doing that here. You've seen the fastball, you've seen the slider, the changeup, all of them down, high, up, in, out. He's just keeping the Walnut Creek hitters off balance, and that's something you don't see a ton from a lot of the other pitchers on the Saints staff.
Now up Lucas Carlisle. 0 for 2 day, like I said. Ground out to his college teammate, Sean Asperger, played together at Santa Barbara City College. Shall be something they talk about. That one high up in the air towards left. Panarisi on the run, yelling loudly for it. He has it. So just like that, 1, 2, 3, go down the Crawdads, 7-8 in the 7-8-9 hole. Saints need to find something heading to the home half of the frame. Bottom of the 6th, Saints down 5-1. New pitcher in the game for the Crawdads, Weston Thornberry.
Yeah, 7th appearance on the year for Thornberry, and doesn't get any easier after Martinez comes out of the game. This is a guy who's been really good. Last time out, the 30th against Sonoma, went 2 innings, didn't give up a hit, picked up a win, I should say. So this is going to be a tall task for the Saints, just as it was against Martinez.
Thornberry, the sophomore from Carlsbad, California, plays his ball at Fresno State. Didn't have the best of years as a Bulldog, but like you said, he's picked it up in summer ball, starting to hone in his skills. Also plays ball with his brother Wyatt Thornberry, who's on the exact same team at Fresno State. So special for the Thornberrys, their family. Now he's here in Pasadena to face Jacob Freer, Flores, and Late. That's 1, 2, 3 up for Arroyo Seco. Freer hasn't gone on base today, a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman.
Playing with his brother, that's got to be pretty cool.
Definitely has to be. I mean, talked to a bunch of guys that get the privilege to do that. I mean, they did say it's something so special. That one way outside. 1-1.
Trying to think of Major League Baseball, the guys who have played with each other. I think of the Rogers brothers.
They did.
Taylor and Tyler. They have been on the same team, I believe.
It's got to be once or twice. Don't think it's any more. Freer swings through. I mean, you're definitely more honed into to Major League Baseball ball knowledge, if you will, than me. So
I don't know about that. Don't discredit yourself, man.
Please.
How about, I know for a while we've wanted to see Seth and Steph play together in the NBA. That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about Steph Curry, but Seth Curry still, in his day, he was a great shooter. I mean,
absolutely.
Fantastic from beyond the arc. 1-2, Freer. It hits him. He'll take his walk down to first. So the first batter Thornberry faces is a hit by pitch, and Freer gets on base yet again.
Yeah, I mean, Saints will take it from a team perspective. Obviously, you need base runners, but that can't feel good for Freer. Yes, the ball was spiked, but took a wicked bounce coming off of the dirt and into Freer's ankle. So that's not going to feel good for him. But the Saints, again, got to get base runners now. Please do not try to steal here.
Flores now up. Broke a hitless skid. Seems like Freer might be in a bit of pain, talking with first base coach and Coach Castro. Seems like we'll be ready to go and underway. To Flores. Checks a swing. Did he go? We'll check it. No, he did not. Count starts off 1-0. And a guy that got a lot of check swings was the pitcher that was in this game, Alessandro Martinez. Yeah. He ended his day. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And it was that slider working for him so well.
Yeah, he was really good, and that's big for the Crawdads moving forward. Not because of how good he was. We've seen how good he'd been earlier in the year, but because of the length he provided. So you talk about maybe having to play slow in the playoffs. This is a guy who absolutely could contend to make that start in the postseason.
1-1 to Flores. Sees that one inside. I've talked about this Riley Horn a couple times, but the bat of Flores, the lightsaber bat is what we like to call it. I mean, it's a electric blue. If we could, I would go back on the games and see how well he's been hitting with that bat. I feel like it's been a lucky charm for him.
Does he use it not every time?
I think he switches it up. 2-1. Tailing inside. Arm side run. Hello.
Oh, see, I hadn't noticed that. That's interesting right there. So he switches it up. It's like when Luke Skywalker has his
blue
lightsaber, then changes it to green, and then I guess I don't know if he ever went back to blue, but
don't think he did. I mean, you gotta go back and watch the movies. 2-2. Lined, hopping, can't make the play is Woodson. Station to station. Go Arroyo Seco. Second hit of the day for Braden Flores.
Yeah, and the second time he's gone the other way as well. This is what Braden Flores is so good at. I talked to Aaron Milam about this on the aforementioned podcast a couple of weeks ago. But when Braden sees the ball over the middle plate, his bat-to-ball skills are so quick. He actually told me something, Aaron Milam did, that he taught Braden Flores, where to remind himself to bring the bat head to the plate super quickly, he will squeeze his left hand on the bat twice just to remind himself to get the hands to the plate, and that's exactly what he did right there. Quick, collected to the plate, boom, slaps it over short into left for a knock.
The bat-to-ball skills, electric for Flores. Now bring up Zach Late, taking the first pitch as he often does. It's 1-0, and for a guy that's, the 3 holes often seen as an aggressive guy that, is gonna put a lot of runs on the board, which he does. Also takes that first pitch a lot of the time as well. Has a great eye. 1-0, Late. Hack and a miss. 1-1.
This is, man, I hate to make this bigger than it is, but it feels like this is an inning where the Saints have to scratch across a run or two here to get this game back a little bit closer than 5-1. You've had 2 good plate appearances, the hit by pitch and then the single from Flores, but you got to capitalize.
Now one inside, it's 2-1. And Late right now working on a 1-for-2 day. Did ground into a double play to end things in the first inning. It's been one of 3 double plays the Saints have grounded into. Twin killer has killed Arroyo Seco. 2-1. Late. Swings through, fouls it back. It's 2-2. Late. Looking to tack on something for Arroyo Seco. Down 5-1 in this bottom of the 6th. Still some ball game left. Called strike 3 looking. Outside part of the plate. Thornberry places the breaker. And that is an out.
Yeah, 2-2. That's one of the disadvantages of taking the first pitch. Didn't happen in this at-bat, but sometimes you can get down 0-1, and oftentimes when you fall behind 0-1, that completely changes or almost ends your at-bat based on how well the pitcher's doing. That pitch right there, that's unhittable, basically. Slider that comes back to catch the outside corner. Nothing more you can do if you're late.
Yeah, I'll bring up Panarisi. First pitch taken outside. It's 1-0. Did ground into a double play last time up. It was in the 4th. A run did come through, but was not given the RBI. Rather, I do believe it was an earned run to Martinez. That one down and away. It's 2-0.
I don't think so because it was a double play. If you hit into a double play, you don't get the RBI.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But looking on the scoreboard, I mean, we'll see how the stats end up turning.
Okay, gotcha.
Turning up, but it could be big for Martinez. That would be 1 run unearned if it does get corrected. 2-0. Swings through. 2-1.
I've had a number of times on these broadcasts where I've said something that I've been absolutely sure of and been completely wrong, though. My worst one was when I was broadcasting in with Nick, and he was like spending his college ball, said something like spending his college ball next year at Villanova in Pennsylvania, and I said, completely sure of myself, Villanova isn't in Pennsylvania. I thought it was in like North Carolina or something.
Absolutely is in Philadelphia.
And then I looked it up and I saw it was in Philadelphia. So I'm pretty sure about this grounded in double play, not get a run thing, but I don't exactly have a great track record so far. So take it with a large grain of salt, if you will.
Yeah, we know baseball and other sports, but maybe not where Villanova is. 3-1. Panarisi takes a walk. Bases are juiced for Arroyo Seco. Brings up Sean Asperger. Things are moving right now for the Saints.
Yeah, how about a game-tying grand slam right here? That'd be nice. I mean, didn't homer yesterday. He's homered in 2 of his last 3 games. This is also a guy where he could really do it. Both of the homers that he has hit so far this season have been on low and inside sliders. And this is a guy who will throw the slider. And low and inside to lefties is typically where you can get them out if you're a right-handed pitcher. Looks like we'll have a little conference on the mound to talk about the plan of attack here, the POA.
Like the acronym, Thornberry has faced 4 batters this inning. Struck out 1 in late. The other 3 have reached. It's Freer with a hit by pitch, a single from Flores. Then Panarisi, the latest, just walked. So if you want to think about it, maybe 1 mistake pitch and 2 at-bats were just out of control and able to place a backdoor breaker versus Zach Late. So it's seen some ups, some downs, a roller coaster of sorts for Thornberry. But now has to go against Asperger. We've seen that average on-base percentage jump quite a lot since early on in the season. Sean is playing some of his best baseball right now. First pitch, strike. Starts out ahead of Asperger. 1 out as well, so double play is on wherever, and we talked about it. 3 double plays this game for Arroyo Seco. The Crawdads infield has been sure-handed. That one high up into right center. Ready to tag is Freer. Under it is Bull. We'll just throw it to the cutoff man, and Freer scores. So 5-2 ball game now. Asperger doesn't seem too thrilled, but does bring home a run. It's 5-2 now for Cam Andrews.
Yeah, good job right there. That was a situation where they absolutely had to have a run no matter what. Anything but a double play right there. And I said I would have loved the grand slam, but at the very least can be satisfied with a little bit of a consolation prize and a sack fly right there.
Dreamers will continue to dream. Now it's 0 to Andrews, ready for his first pitch. Facing Thornberry. Double play for Andrews and a pop-up to short today. Had that RBI double yesterday. And Andrews, a guy that really excelled in terms of the batting average, getting on base early in the season. Hit a bit of a slump recently, but saw it come alive yesterday in a sense. It's 1-1. Got that start yesterday, again the second one in a row today. Usually means that Nick Nashie will be in tomorrow.
Should be.
1-1, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Andrews leaves it outside. Thornberry's breaker doesn't land. Or rather, more of a heater.
It's a pretty great last name, huh? Thornberry.
Yeah,
I quite like it.
It's a go. I have a good friend who's a Thornberry, also plays or played baseball.
Yeah. You know what Thornberry sounds like? Sounds like, to me at least, and this is 100% a compliment, one of the last names you'd have on these, like, 8-season, 20-plus shows about, like, homey towns in the middle of Connecticut, like the Thornberries.
Andrews straight up, way high, under it. As Kevin Parker Jr., and that is the inning. Thornberry works through the traffic. Only one came across. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Final 3 innings here at Pasadena. Crawdads set to hit in this 7th inning. Final 3 innings from Pasadena. It's Vergara out there again. Settled down the bottom part of the order, 7, 8, 9 for the Crawdads last inning via 2 flyouts and a ground out.
Yeah, you look at what the Saints did in the bottom of the 6th, and I think we can sit here and be happy with the run, but we can also acknowledge maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity. Bases loaded, you only get one run. It's not like it's anything egregious or anything, but if they do end up losing this game by a score similar to this, maybe you look back at that inning and said that was their best chance.
At the top of the order in 1, 2, 3 due up, Polasek, Woodson, and Ellis. Polasek, another one of those all-stars from the north for the Crawdads. Count is 0-1. Vergara started his outing similar to how Segovia started his outing. Edwin Segovia, though, even though he did go those 5 innings, didn't end it exactly how he wanted to. Did go those 5 runs similar to last Wednesday. So maybe some similarities in a sense. Count is 0-2 to Polasek. To Polasek, my apologies. 1 for 3 on the day with a single last time up. 0 for 2. Called a ball. 1-2 now.
No, I'm sure you were thinking of Christian Pulisic, the star on the. It's on the U.S., right?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say much of a.
Oh, he's not a star.
Well, no, well,
he's the only guy I know, to be honest. So
I mean, he played,
him and the guy who got suspended, Balogun.
Played 60 minutes in the first 45. Gave the ball 11 times. So not the best of days for Christian Pulisic in that 4-1 loss to Belgium. But you know, we can't win them all.
Yeah.
I think that's the moral of the story there. Baseball mindset right there. Can't win them all.
Well, you know what my favorite baseball saying is, to go off that, is the very first day of the season. What I always say is, can't win them all if you don't win the first.
There you go. I mean, everyone gets so worked up in a 162-game season for those MLB fans. You drop one game against a team that you think you should be beating, sweeping, but that's just the name of the game. You're going to drop games. Players are going to have days. Beauty of the sport. 2-2 to Polasek. Strike 3 called. Polasek sat down. First strikeout of his outing for Vergara, first out of the 7th.
Yeah, good pitch. He's really attacked hitters since coming into the game last inning, and I like it. 2-2, strikeout count. Go with your best pitch, the fastball, and blow it by Polasek, who is now 1 for 4.
Fastball, mid-80s, yes, but commanded to perfection. That brings up TJ Woodson. Shortstop for Walnut Creek. That one out to left. Ball carrying, Panarisi at the warning track. He's under it, and that's out number 2. A little worry right there. A solid swing from Woodson, but maybe the wind felt like brought it back in a bit too.
Yeah, I think that's also something you got to give Vergara credit for a little bit. His stuff is good enough that even when a guy gets him, he's really got to get the ball to get it over the fence. And we've seen Woodson hit a number of balls, say, that have been hit well. There was one in center field that Brody Cheer caught, and then this one gave it a ride. But all that matters at this point in the game, just getting outs.
Now is Ryan Ellis, a guy deemed by many in the Crawdads organization as Mr. Crawdad. We've talked about it, one of the all-time leaders in Crawdads history in many statistical categories. Hits among them. But, I mean, this guy's been everywhere. A senior, 5th-year senior. Started his career at St. Mary's. Played a year and plus 5 games in a sophomore year, then had to leave due to injury. Then went in 2024, skipped a year because had that injury lingering still. Went to UTA, that's Texas Arlington. Put together solid numbers there. Then 2025, missed another season of injury, still on the UTA books, and is now a Sac State Hornet. So coming all the way back, but I said it earlier, one place that's felt like home for him the last 4 years has been Walnut Creek. 2-0. That one high. Ellis leaves out. Just always nice when you just, the loyalty, I guess you can think of. I mean, coming back to the team that kind of helped you blossom as a player, has a great relationship with Brant Cummings, has been here a lot of the time that Cummings has been here. Saw win 100 for Cummings, now saw 150 last night, and takes a walk right there. He's done a lot of that, too. That's a Crawdad.
Yeah, and you think about summer baseball, it goes by really quick. It's only 2 months, but you add up 4 years, and that's 8 months right there. And you can see why Ellis is as good as he's been because, at least in part, how much consistency he's gotten with a similar coaching staff, the same head coach, a guy who can not come in not knowing anything about this guy and just build on basic baseball skills, but really know who he is and can build off that in order to make him as the best player he can be.
Or pinch hitter, not defensive substitution, will most likely be a defensive substitution. Andrew Longacre coming to the game. Redshirt freshman making his appearance tonight. And Andrews, after that first pitch ball, will go and talk to Vergara. Did walk Ellis on 4 pitches. And now facing Longacre. Redshirt freshman, goes to William Jessup University. Only had 4 at-bats in 2026. Did not register a hit. We're talking about good names. I think Longacre might be up there with Thornberry.
Yeah. Longacre. I'm trying to think where a reasonable context I could find that name. It's like a farm name.
That seems like
That's like
Southern
Acre.
royalty.
Yeah.
Southern royalty. I'd say that.
Yeah,
Well, he's from Fair Oaks, California. I mean, that's not on the South.
that's true. But on the barbecue to have some dinner with the Longacres. What do you think of my accent? It's pretty good, huh? No?
It's something.
It's something.
It's
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take something over nothing.
Okay. Yeah. I don't love it. I gotta work on it.
1-0. Firm just inside 2-0. Glove pop on point. Placement just inside. And the strike throwing pitcher in Vergara has thrown 6 straight balls. Does have the out in this inning via the K. He gets back in the strike column there. It's 2-1. Attends the same high school as Crawdad teammate Devin James, or rather did attend. Longacre takes that one. It's 2-2.
Good job from Vergara, leaning more on the fastball in this inning. Does give up the 2-out walk, but the 6 straight balls mixed in there. A good job getting back into the count as well.
2-2. Vergara to Longacre. Ellis at first. Longacre inside out. Over to right field, right or under it. Makes the play. That's the 3rd out. Heading to the bottom of the 7th. 5-2. Walnut Creek on top. Bottom of the 7th here, 9 outs left for Arroyo Seco to overcome a 5-2 ball game. Cannon King lead things off, then Ryder, then Shear. And a new pitcher in the game for Walnut Creek will be Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez, 9th appearance on the year. He's been used out of the bullpen by Brent Cummings and Walnut Creek as much as pretty much anybody else on their team right here. And last time out, 6 days ago against the Alameda Merchants, he gave up 2 runs in a couple of innings, so not the best last time out. Excuse me, so this is a guy that the Saints hopefully would be able to get to here. Again, only down 3 runs, very doable, but running out of time a little bit, only 9 outs left, like you said.
Fastball, slider, sinker guy. Has that changeup as well, but 4-pitch mix, mainly those first 2, and fastball, slider. Starts off 0-1 versus Cannon King, and King a strikeout and a walk today, so has reached, but then got thrown out, stealing to begin that 5th inning. Now 1 down, it's 1-1. And Hernandez from Livermore, California, a sophomore. He was at Pasadena City College in 2025, played 11 games. Didn't play too much. Now recently at Chabot College. King, back up the middle, bounces off the bag, it doesn't matter. He'll reach on a base hit, starting things off right.
Well, Saints have hit a lot of balls up the middle today, Dylan, and despite Woodson and Carlisle, they're normally sure-handed. They're up the middle. This one, obviously, nobody could get to, off the bag in the center field. Oftentimes, you'll see at this point in the season where guys have more data about their guys, shift the second baseman closer to first, the shortstop closer to third, which leaves a bigger hole up the middle. So good job by the Saints hitters today, putting the ball there more.
Adjustment at its finest. Now bring up Evan Ryder. Swings through that first one. Evan, don't think this is on his mind, but does have that 15-game hit streak.
Oh, it's on his mind. You know it is. It'd be on my mind.
I mean, I think it would. But bottom line here is make something productive. It's 0-1 from Hernandez to him. King hopping off, forces Hernandez to step off. And that is what we saw King kind of get picked off on. Had a vault that he thought he had a read on, then was thrown out way in time with a pick off to first. And first to second, meant King back in the dugout. And there's the pickoff move. Hernandez just checking that runner. But again, we talked about it. Leadoff man gets on, and King, maybe not the moment to steal now, especially with Evan Ryder up to bat. Hasn't had the success today, 0 for 2, but can certainly swing it. 1-1, leaves it high. And that hit streak for Ryder extends all the way back to the second game of the season. It was the first game versus San Diego where he didn't record it, but since then has just been on a tear. Leaves it outside. It's 2-1. Also down in the 8-hole. But he's been pretty comfortable down here. Is where he's made his pay dirt.
Yeah, that's often a debate you have. If a guy's hitting really well lower in the lineup, do you leave him there at a lower spot, but he stays consistent?
Ryder up the middle, gloved by Woodson. Over to second, over to first. Not in time. So Ryder reaches by a fielder's choice. Tried to go 6-4-3 with it, but the Crawdads, quick as they could be, wasn't fast enough for Ryder's wheels.
Yeah, good job beating it out on the back end. Getting back to what I was saying, like that's the debate, right? When you have a guy who's hitting well in the 8-hole, do you move him up to the 3-hole and risk putting him in a new spot, new part of the game, or do you leave him in the 8-hole? I think Saints have opted to keep him, you know, towards the bottom of the lineup, and by and large, it's worked out for him. Again, you said it hit in every game except for the first game of the season, and it's really helpful for the Saints to know that you got a guy in him you're basically guaranteed to hit every single time he steps up to the plate in a game. At least once in a game, I should say.
Still looking for that hit. Was a fielder's choice, so he won't get credit for it. Gets on base again, yes, but not in line to keep that streak alive. But now it's Brody Cheer who sees that ball outside. Cheer. 1 for 2. Started things off with a single. Grounded back to the pitcher to end off the 5th inning. Now facing Hernandez for the first time today. Cheer. Gets through. Into left center. Rounding is Ryder. He'll go to third. Cheer extending to second. Showing off the wheels. He'll reach. So now 2 runners on scoring position for the top of the lineup and Freer, and this is the place you want to be.
Yeah, great job by Cheer, hitting that ball to left center field, and not just that. Again, we've talked about the Saints up the middle, the other way. They've had some really good at-bats tonight, and then great base running, both by Ryder to go to third, and then Cheer reading the throw, going to third, able to take second base. And then you've got 2 in scoring position, and guys in Freer and Flores who have delivered so many times. Saints are really in this.
Freer has only reached once via a hit by pitch on a 1-2 count in the 6th. Thornberry is the one that dealt the damage to Freer. Freer now looking to deal damage to the Crawdads. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out for Jacob. Has a runner on third and a runner on second in Ryder and Cheer. Leaves it outside, can't place a fastball.
And you love a walk here. Braden Flores seems like he gets a hit almost every time he comes up with a guy in scoring position. He'd have 2 here and the bases juice. So there's no need to swing at a pitch outside the zone if you're free. You've got your best player on deck. Pass the torch to him and see what happens.
Freer only 8 RBIs on the season. Last year, person on the scene for Arroyo Seco hitting .339, over 20. Leaves that one outside. He's working a count 3-0 now with 1 out. Of course, the Saints did have a bases loaded situation. Last inning only came out with 1 run via sac fly from Sean Asperger. Arroyo Seco needs to be hungry for more. 3-0. He'll take a walk. Bases juiced. Up for Braden Flores.
So exactly what I said he should do. Very good job laying off, especially on that 3-0. Unless you get a fastball right down the middle and you're sure you can hit it, you don't want to swing. And now you got the go-ahead run at the plate in Flores, who, again, has been a hit machine, but he also has some power. We talked about 2 home runs on the season, both of them coming in big spots, and going to have a chat on the mountains here, and rightfully so for the Crawdads. This is a really important moment in this game, probably the most important moment, and a huge at-bat, one of the biggest on the season for Flores, as the Saints really at this point in the season, Dylan, now 6 games back with 14 to go. They're trying to keep their playoffs hopes alive as much as they can.
Statistically, nowhere out of the picture, but they need to get to the pitcher to be in it. Hernandez, that meeting's done. Between the pitching coach, has someone warming the bullpen. Crawdads ready to take Hernandez out if they need, but 1 out to work with, bases loaded. Thornberry's able to get out of it last time up. He went 1 inning, 1 hit with that 1 run, a walk, and a K. So these Walnut Creek relievers have put themselves in situations, have gone out of them. That one away will be a ball. Flores coming into this game 0 for 12. Has now broke that hitless streak and is back in the hit column. 2 singles today and a walk.
Look at that hole on the right side. Just poke one through there.
Hernandez to Flores. Leaves it up. Still a little team leader in RBIs of 19. Second to him is Ryder still with 15, and he's the man standing 90 feet away. 2-0. Down low. Hernandez, frustrated, wanted that call. Did not get it on the inner part of the plate.
Yeah, I think bases loaded, even with Flores. Got to be taken all the way here.
3-0. Outside. Flores sees 4 pitches, all of them balls, walks in a run. It's 5-3.
Well, great job. Great job. So many times we've seen the Saints this season be given a gift and they swing at a pitch that's not close, or they do something to end the inning. But Freer and Flores, they're at the top of your lineup for a reason, understanding that this guy, Hernandez, has no awareness of the strike zone right now. And now, all of a sudden, you got the tying runs in scoring position. Looks like that's going to be it for Hernandez. He's coming out of the game. We'll see who comes in, trots in from that bullpen in right center, or, well, down deep in the right field corner, I should say, for the Crawdads. But really good that they've been able to chip away at this lead. And you look at the at-bats. This is not surprising. The at-bats they've had over the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning recently have really been big, and it's not surprising now that they're within 2 runs in this game.
Hernandez gave up a single, a double, walked the last 2 batters, had a meeting on the last one, then gets taken out now by the head coach of the Crawdads. We'll let you know about the pitcher when we come back from a short break, but bases are loaded with 1 out for Arroyo Seco. Bottom of the 7th, Saints on the prowl. Bases are loaded. Brought home a run. Forced Hernandez out of the game. He only went a third, 2 hits with 2 walks, no strikeouts. Book is not closed on him. All runners are charged to Hernandez, and it's the job for Miles Brand, the new pitcher out of the pen.
Yeah, this is one of their high leverage guys, Dylan. He hasn't given up an earned run since the 14th of June. And we're here on the 8th of July. So he is the guy that come in to put out the fires, but let's see if the Saints can keep it burning.
Late, takes high and up. Fastball slider guy is Brand. Plays the ball at Modesto College. Like you said, hasn't given up a run in quite a bit. High leverage as it comes for Walnut Creek. Late, inside out, fouls it off. Brings the count to 1-1. Zach Late struck out last time up, has a single, and grounded into a double play. One of the 4 batters to ground in to that twin killer so far today. Warner's on every single base in Shear, Freer, and Flores. Late goes to left center. That'll get down. 1 run will score. Coming around is 2. Third one in Flores. Dashing towards the plate. He's safe. 3 RBI double for Zach Late. Saints have tied it up in the 7th.
From down 5-1 on top 6-5. How about Zach Late going the other way? This is a guy who we saw get hurt earlier in the game, Dylan. He was down on the ground for 2.5, 3 minutes, but clearly no worse for the wear. Fastball right over the heart of the plate. And how many times have we said, go the other way? That's what they do again. That's what Late does. And now a 4 spot in the 7th to give them the lead.
Approach on point. Zach Late, stone cold. It's 5-5. Rather 6-5, my apologies. So what's 5-3 before? That one brought in those 3. So a 6-5 ball game. off that Zach late double. So they've taken the lead here. Panarisi going to second. Play made. Over to first. Advances late 90 feet. Brings up Sean Asperger. So one pitch for Brand is what broke this game open. None of those runs are his, as they were put on by Hernandez. So 4 earned runs for Hernandez in a third of an inning. It's really brutal for him. Asperger now, single, walk, and a sac fly. 1-0. Now one outside.
This is interesting. Remember last Wednesday when we talked about the Segovia-Vergara combined effort to beat the Barons? Well, they won that game 6-5, and that's going to be at least the lead that Segovia has, or Vergara has, when the top of the 8th begins.
Asperger fouls it off towards the right side.
Only 6 outs to try to get this one done. Could he potentially do it again by the same score against another conference opponent?
Do you believe in broadcasters' jinx?
No.
Well,
no,
I
I don't
either.
I don't. I had this conversation with Nick last night. I'll tell you the story when the game is a little less exciting or something. or maybe in the next inning. We'll see.
It is pretty exciting. 90 feet away, Asperger fouls it off. But things are trending up. Back-to-back Wednesdays. Deja vu, maybe. But all that's left is the Saints to hold on. Started as a 5-1 entering that 6th inning, is now turned into 6-5. That one's outside. It's 2-2. Sean Asperger. Full count. Runner 90 feet away for Sean. Delayed strike call. What did I just see?
What was that?
Asperger thought it was ball 4.
Everybody thought it was ball 4.
Pitcher and catcher and the whole infield was on the umpire's page. Asperger thought it was outside. I thought that was down as well, but nonetheless, Walnut Creek gets out of the inning, but they do give up 4 runs and now have to play from behind for the first time today. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Crawdads now playing from behind following a 4-run bottom of the 7th. A new pitcher into the game for Arroyo Seco. It's Andrew Miller.
Yeah, Miller making his second appearance on the year, went 2 innings 6 days ago against the Waves in a game the Saints lost. But you told me off air, Dylan, you really like this guy, Andrew Miller on the mound. Not the baseball pitcher who pitched in the World Series for the then Indians in 2016. This is a different Andrew Miller, but hoping to keep it a 1-run lead for the Saints here in a high-leverage 8th.
He's going against Bryden Bull. 1-for-3 day for him. And Andrew Miller, I mean, this is a giant v giant matchup. A 6'7", 235 guy on the bump going against Bryden Bull, who's 6'5". I believe around 220, maybe a bit less. So power v power. Miller, Azusa Pacific guy, came late. He's had only 1 appearance on the season. Was the last game of the first half of the season for Arroyo Seco versus the Waves. But he showed his worth. He certainly has stuff to write home about. 2-1. Bull sees that one just inside. Barely missing. 3-1 to Bull. 4 home runs on the year, tied for the lead in the CCL. That one up in the air. Backspin down to Flores. First out.
Yeah, big time from Miller right there. It was a very hittable pitch. And, again, oftentimes just the slightest amount of spin, an inch this way, an inch that way, can be the difference between a home run and a pop-out. And that was a home run type swing from Bull right there. We've seen many times this game, Dylan, how hard he swings at pitches over the heart of the plate, but just misses this one. And credit to Miller for getting it off of the barrel.
Now Kevin Parker Jr. up to bat. 0-for-3 day. Fly out, line out, and a strikeout for Segovia. Talk about Segovia. He went those 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned. But Vergara doing it again. 3 innings pitched. This time give up no hits, no runs again. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Did go significantly less than last time pitching, but still giving shutout stuff for the Saints. And that one goes 3-0. Miller to Parker Jr.
Man, definitely don't want to put him on. That is one of the baseball no-nos. You never want to put the tying run on base via a walk.
Gets his free strike down the middle. Parker Jr. had no reason to even offer that. 3-1, 1 out. Parker Jr. out to left center. That one flying towards the wall. It'll get down. Parker Jr. towards second. Rounding. Going to third. Play will be close. At 3. Not in time. Parker Jr. Afterburners on. Diving into third. He's 90 feet away with 1 out.
Yeah, he took a risk there, right? That was going to be a close play, but what's the baseball taboo? You never want to make the first or the third out of the inning at second base. This would have been the second, and now it's huge because the Saints are going to have to bring the infield in this situation, and you get a guy up who can put the ball in the air, a much, much better situation, and I think it's definitely a risk worth taking right there from Kevin Parker Jr., and a really good at-bat.
Guy that steals a lot of bases. That shows the speed. Show the speed right there. Waiting for a call.
Blues ball outside.
Is a ball. 1 out. Yeah, things have heated up these last 2 innings. That one broken bat. Over to first. Will just be the out. Yeah, interesting kind of mechanisms of how that worked right there. But broken bat. Went to late. He stepped on first. The runner didn't advance. Didn't really have a chance to advance even if he wanted to.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that was a broken bat or if he hit the ball softly to first and was really upset and he chucked his bat towards the first base. Yep. Going to have to look back on it, but not entirely sure what happened there. Anyway, huge second out and a great job by Late, right? Ball hit to the right side. First thing you want to do with a runner on third base and less than 2 outs, look the guy back to third and then take it to first because you got plenty of time.
Miller now ahead 0-1 on Barrett Ronson. A double today, 1 for 3. Now one in for a strike, 0 for 2.
But Miller into the game and into the fire, huh? Second appearance ever. This is a huge pitch right here, huge at-bat. If you can get him out, only 3 defensive outs left to get for the Saints in the ninth.
0 for 2. 2 outs, strikeout! Miller, runner 90 feet away, doesn't matter. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Miller, strikeout to end the top of the frame to Cam Andrews, who will now lead off the bottom of the frame. After him will be Cannon King and Evan Ryder. But the Saints, they've willed, they've fought, they're up 6-5.
Well, we don't believe in the broadcasters' jinx, Dylan, but they are 3 outs away from picking up their second consecutive 6-5 win on a Wednesday, second consecutive game that we have both called together. But would love to get some insurance here as well.
Andrews, breaker, finds the inner part of the plate, 0-1. Andrews, 0 for 3. 2 pop-ups and a double play. Brand came in for Hernandez last inning. Did give up that double to Zach Light that brought in those 3 runs to make it a 4-run inning, but none of those were actually earned to him. Those all earned to Hernandez. And his final line was a third of an inning pitch, 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned, of 2 walks and no strikeouts. Brand 0-2. Gets Andrews swinging, drop 3. Throw down to first. First out. They'll now go from Andrews to Cannon King. Single last time up. Walked the time before that, struck out the time before that. To 3 completely different outcomes. Now working with 1 out in the second spot. Those will let off all 3 times this game. This 4th at-bat being the first time he's not.
Well, this is a situation where Cannon King hopefully should thrive in. 1-run gain, 8th inning, nobody on the bases. This is exactly a time when a classic Cannon King cannon, as Nick Jepson calls it, would be huge.
Loves that term. 0-1, 1 out. 0-2 now. Similar spot. King takes it for a strike.
I know we don't believe in the broadcasters, jinx. Let's just say it. Right now, it is an immaculate inning for Brand. As of right now, he's still throwing an immaculate inning.
Swung back and foul.
It's over.
Now over. I mean,
boom! Broadcasters
I'm
jinx,
not,
baby.
I'm not high-fiving you.
Oh,
I mean,
come
that could have been history.
If he held on to it, it would have been strike
Give
three.
me a pound
And then, okay. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Was fouled back. Got the tip of the bat of King. You just had to mention it.
I did. We were talking about the broadcasters jinx in the last inning. Of course I had to mention it.
No balls, 2 strikes to King. Brand ahead. Swung on and missed. That's strike 3. Strikeout for King. Second one of the game. Second in a row for Brand. Brings up Evan Ryder. Walking out to good old Bon Jovi. Great walk-up song. Looking to fuel him. Still looking to extend that streak. Did reach today, but was a fielder's choice. Breaking ball in the inside. 0-1. Quick pace from Brand. That one up the middle. Extends it. 16 games in a row. Evan Ryder with a hit.
Oh, you know that's got to feel so good for him right there. Good piece of hitting, too. Slider down and away. Just flicks the bat head at the ball and right back up the middle. Another time that the Saints have not tried to pull the ball. They've gone the other way a lot tonight, and you look at the scoreboard and you see the 6 runs, and I think that's probably a big part of the reason personally for Evan. Big time. 16 games in a row is quite an accomplishment, young man. And I say that as someone who is probably younger or the same age as Evan.
So went up the middle, able to extend it. 2-out hitting right there. Now brings up Cheer. Single and a double. Grounded back to the pitcher as well, but 2 for 3 day in his first official game as a Saint. Got the at-bat yesterday to end it off. Was in the 9th, but now able to get a full game under his belt.
And speaking of the 9th, I do imagine that we would see Andrew Miller back out there for the top of the 9th with how he pitched in the 8th. You never know. We thought Daniel Vergara might try to close this game out, but score situation changes, and Aaron Milam goes with a guy in Miller who's got some of, if not the most electric stuff on this team.
1-0. Outer part. Notches a strike. It's 1-1. Do you see the bullpen having a bit of action? Can't quite identify yet. Could be Miller as well, just getting ready. I mean, some guys like to stay in the dugout, kind of stand around. That one into left. It doesn't get down. Interesting catch, but they get it nonetheless. 3 more outs for the Crawdads to notch this one back. Andrew Miller back in the game. 3 more. We'll see. Top of the 9th. Miller back out. Dominant last time. looking to finish the job. 6-5, Saints lead. Crawdads made the trip down, had a lead 5-1. Arroyo Seco looking to spoil the party. Due up, 9-1-2, Lucas Carlisle, Daniel Polasic, and TJ Woodson.
And you feel so comfortable right here, putting the ball in the hands of Andrew Miller. You know the moment isn't too big for him. He just did the same thing in the 8th, but here in the 9th, going up against the 9-1-2. That's the top pretty much of this order for the Crawdads. So got to get the ball over the plate. Got to focus on getting strikes and let your defense make plays behind you.
We talked about it. Don't want to let it get to Ellis at that 3-hole or Bull at that 5-hole. This is the time for Miller and the Saints to have a statement win at home.
I can think of one Miller in the major leagues, Mason Miller, one of the best closers, almost never blows the same. How about we see another one right here from Andrew?
1-2, he's ahead, lands that breaking ball. 1-2 to Carlisle. 0 for 3. That one chopped. Tries to make a play. Freer across the diamond. Cross body. Doesn't get it in time. The theatrics just not in time. That's a leadoff base runner on for Walnut Creek.
A heck of an effort deep in the hole. Asperger can't get there. Freer to his right. Cross his body. Unbelievable effort, and just beating it out on the back end is Carlisle. That is a brutal break, but you got to give Carlisle credit. Hustling out of the box, even on the 6-hopper, and now some trouble for Miller.
Polasic, 1 for 4. Aggressive, fouls it back. Behind 0-1. Struck out last time up versus Vergara, so hasn't faced Miller today. The bullpen on these Wednesdays have been solid for Arroyo Seco. Now 1 notch for a strike. It's 0-2.
0-2 right here. I like going to the slider. He's a fastball slider guy, remember. So you want to keep Carlisle at first base, but the most important thing is getting the hitter at the plate out. And a slider, I think, is the best way to do that.
Now 1 down. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Polasic. Has that runner on first in Carlisle, who reached by a half step. Almost thrown out by Freer at short. Checks the runner. Miller buying himself more time. Whip that thing to first, though.
Yeah, no reason not to. It's not like you get 3 disengagements, the guy goes to second. You buy some time, maybe keep him closer to the bag.
1-2. High, even at 2. Miller, a guy that they've been waiting to come along and be an Arroyo Seco Saint. Was rostered early on, knew they would get him around this time, and wants to make a statement. 2-2. That one cued. Asperger over to first in time. So runner does advance 90 feet. It's now 180 feet in scoring position is Carlisle, but that's a first out for Miller in this defense.
Yeah, smart play by Asperger just going off first. That was a cue shot off the end of the bat from Polasic, and again, Asperger, we talked about, just missed getting the chopper at third in the previous hitter. The whole team, everyone up here in the press box with us shouting for him to go to first, so a really good job to be able to do that.
That brings up TJ Woodson, the shortstop. Inside out, over to right, on the run. Evan Ryder making the diving play. It gets past. Runner rounding third. It's Carlisle scoring. RBI double landing just in front of Evan Ryder. Drama here at Jackie. It's 6-6.
Yeah, you can't even really blame Evan Ryder for trying to make that play. Miller did his job. He got the pop-up. This situation, I like it. Go for the risk. Go for the all-out. Try to make a sensational play in right field, and just unable to get there. And now right now, if you're Miller, you got to keep it at 6-6. Give your offense a chance to try and walk it off in the bottom half.
Royalty in Walnut Creek. It's Ryan Ellis, the all-star, in a big spot for the Dads. 1-0, 1 out. Runner in scoring position at second. Ellis launched way foul. They'll go again.
Yeah, that one landed in the pavilion at Dodger Stadium about 15 minutes away.
That one will find Chavez Ravine one way or another. 93 off the bat. Very high at launch angle. Just couldn't straighten it out. 1-1.
There's a gigantic hole between third and short right here. You got to imagine that's where Ellis is trying to go.
Ellis inside out. Still in play, making the run. Panarisi towards the fence. Out of his reach. I mean, he was on his horse for that one, that's for sure. Count will go 1-2 after that foul ball. Miller taking his time. Ready to deliver a 1-2, 1 out. Gave up the run not too long ago. Just high.
This is the downside when you have a guy who only throws 2 pitches, is that they're starting to get more looks at Andrew Miller, his arm angle, where he delivers, and maybe starting to see him a little bit better. You get the job on the pop-up, but Ryan Ellis, as he would be against any pitcher, is really comfortable at the plate.
2-2. It's all Miller's. Swing and a miss. Huge strikeout. Andrew Miller on Ellis. That's 2 out.
Yeah, big time indeed. And now you get to face Longacre, who very capable hitter, but he's not Bryden Bull on deck. So this is a guy you have to attack here if you're Miller. And then you give your offense a chance in the bottom of the 9th, right?
Flew out to right last time up. Looking for a different result. Longacre, first pitch strike. He took it all the way. Oh, 1 to Longacre. Tried to spot it, missed it. High and in, it's 1-1. Miller extremely cognizant of that runner at second. Crawdads breathing down the necks of Arroyo Seco. Longacre popped up, foul. So it is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Miller to Longacre. Tailing inside, deuce is wild. Longacre looking to bring home that run or pass the baton. Miller. Chop back up. On second, Flores flicks it to first. And there you have it. Crawdads tie things up at 6-6. Bottom of the 9th coming up for Arroyo Seco. Only road to a win, a walk-off. Crawdads Saints 6-6, bottom of the 9th. New pitcher in the game for Walnut Creek. It's Jacob Coburn.
Yeah, Coburn, 10th appearance on the year coming up here. Very high leverage, obviously, in a tie game in the bottom of the 9th. Hasn't thrown in a while. Last time, the 27th, so maybe doesn't have a command. It might be a while for him, and you've got the right part of the order. Freer, Flores, the top of the lineup coming up. All you need is one run, so get him on, get him over, get him in. The recipe for success here in the 9th.
Freer, Flores, late. That's who's due up. Swing and a miss. Big one. Freer behind 0-1. Brand, the last pitcher for the Crawdads, ended his night. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. They'll take time. One of the major hits he gave up out of those 2 was the Zach Late double that brought Arroyo Seco the lead. Again, none of them earned to him, was owned to Hernandez. Freer, powerful, fell back.
Well, we've yet to see this season an extra innings game here with the Saints, Jackie Robinson Field. Hopefully we still don't see it after this inning, and the Saints will have won it in regulation.
Does Arroyo Seco have late game heroics? 0-2 inside. I'll tell you what, the Crawdads are a team that constantly, if you're on the CCL Twitter feed, Instagram feed, they hit walk-offs. Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
A team of late heroics. Have been one of the most clutch teams in the entire CCL. 1-2 to Freer. That one. Into left center. Trailing back is Bull. He catches it. Freer gave it a ride, but is put out to Bull. Now time for Braden Flores with 1 out. When Freer hasn't set the table, Flores has followed right behind and provided the stability of a leadoff hitter. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Has walked twice. One of those walks brought an RBI. Let's start off the scoring. In that 7th, both has 2 singles. 0-1. Flores out to left field. Stationary, or rather moving a couple feet. As Pulasic. So that's 2 quick outs. Now it's Zach Late up to bat.
Well, this is the guy that got you back into the game and gave you the lead. The bases clearing double to give you the lead in the 7th. How fitting would it be if he had a hand in or was able to provide the walk-off jolt himself?
Late does most of his damage with runners on. Now has to create his own success. Awaiting the first pitch. Takes it down and in. 1-0 with 2 outs to Late. Now on low. Saints dugout. Letting the pitcher know. It's gone fiery in this later part of the game, this final third. 2-0. Breaking ball lands beautifully. It's 2-1. Coburn sat 2 down early. Looking to sit down another, but is behind 3-1.
You ever heard of the game Yard?
I've not.
It's a game that all the people in an MLB press box play. The way it works is you get 1 pitch every game to call Yard, and if the batter hits a home run, you win.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? I'm calling Yard right here.
Zach Late. 3-1. Out to left center. That one carrying under its Bull. Heck of a run. Bull gets the out. You mentioned no extras. Well, here it is. On a beautiful July night in the second half of the season. We're going to the 10th. We're here, 10th inning, here in Pasadena. Lights are bright. Who will shine? Crawdads Saints. It's 6-6. It's all to play for here, Max.
Little free baseball, baby. You love to see it. Although the tickets don't cost anything, so technically the entire game is free. But a little bonus baseball, I should say, and automatic runner at second base for the Crawdads to start the inning here.
Scary man up, Bryden Bull. 1 for 4 today. The redshirt freshman from Ole Miss, SEC baller, has made a name for himself in the CCL. Going against Miller for the second time today. Popped out against Miller last time up. Getting that runner 180 away. Bull fouls it off hard to left. 0-1. What a game we've had. I mean, the Saints taking the lead and late in it in the 7th. Crawdads coming out to start up 5-1. Been a bit of everything as Bull pops up towards the dugout. Will be out of play for Asperger. It's 0-2.
Now look at what's happened so far. 3 runs in the top of the 4th for the Crawdads. Saints get 1 back, but then 2 more. The RBI single from Riley Winchell makes it 5-1. But credit the Saints. They get 1 back in the bottom half on the Asperger sacrifice fly, and then the 4th spot capped off by the double from late, and then nearly a diving play from Ryder to seal the deal. Can't get it. Ball goes by him. Crawdads tie it up, and now extra innings, anyone's game. Obviously, the runner on second base, so we don't expect it to go a super long time. But, again, this is the question, right? Do you swing away if you're Walnut Creek, or do you try to advance him over and get him in maybe sacrificially?
0-2. Bull. Strikeout looking. He'll head back begrudgingly. Miller gets the K to start off this 10th.
Well, man, we're Saints broadcasters, but you can understand why Bryden Bull not happy about that one. Maybe a little bit off the plate. The umpires, you know, just the same as us, they've been here for a long time, too. Maybe trying to speed the game up a little bit. But the Saints, Andrew Miller, everyone, we will absolutely take it. And now huge that they can't advance the runner over to third and get him in without a hit or a wild pitch or some sort of Saints mistake now. Got to make the Crawdads put the ball in play here.
Kevin Parker Jr. tripled off Miller in that 7th, or rather the 8th when he came into the game. Showed every single fiber of pace he had in him to reach third. Now waiting on a 1-0. Now one down low. Count goes 2-0. Pinch runner on second. That was the designated pinch runner, or runner at second, is Sutter Moss.
The ghost runner, if you will.
2-0. Foul straight back. Wedge is in the chain link.
Fun.
Oh, I know Riley Horner
This game's got
that.
everything.
Excitement and a wedgie in the fence. What more could you ask for here at Jackie Robinson? You got extra innings. Add that to your bingo card. 2-1, 1 out to Parker Jr. Inside, it's 3-1.
And again, not the worst thing if you walk him here. You set up a force at every base, potentially a double play, and this is a guy who's burned you already today. You got the bottom of the lineup coming up next. Yes, they hit for power, but they don't hit for average, so I don't hate being careful with Parker Jr.
Miller checks second, goes home, high. So walks Kevin Parker Jr. Perez now up. RBI double in the 4th. Brought home 2 with that. So Parker now on first, second. Sutter Moss, pinch runner. In the bullpen as well. I believe it is Dylan Huang was seen warming at some point an inning ago. Miller's now in his third inning of work. And the fastball is high. I mean, Cam Andrews is going to go have a talk with him. Maybe starting to get away from Miller a bit.
Well, his third inning of work. He's been pitching a while. You can understand why. Maybe feeling some adverse effects, but right now, it's all up to him on the mound right there. And again, one ground ball double play from potentially getting out of this inning and giving your offense a chance to walk it off with a runner on second base to boot.
1-0 set for Perez. Perez up.
Get there.
Miller under it. He got there. That's out number 2. So had the meeting with Cam Andrews. Next pitch pops straight up.
Big time. And I love, just from a personal standpoint, to take charge of Miller. No, I made the pitch. I get to catch the fly ball. Now another pinch hitter. Going to be number 5, Cam Taylor.
Cam Taylor in for Walnut Creek, the senior from Lithonia, Georgia. A lot of guys from California in this team. Taylor coming all the way from the Peach State. In a big spot, might I add. A runner in scoring position, a runner on first for the lefty and Taylor versus Miller. That one high.
Yeah, it's hard for a guy to come off the bench cold and pinch hit just in general. It's especially hard when you come out of that shadow of the Crawdads dugout and into the spotlight here in a huge spot.
Will he step up to the occasion? Inside out, foul. Counts even 1-1. Cam Taylor just bounced around a couple places. Second year as a Walnut Creek Crawdad. Is this his moment? Swing and a miss. Miller. Loud, strike 2. It's 1-2, 2 outs. 2 runners on.
This is a fastball slider guy. Right now, 1-2 count. Go with a back foot slider right there. He doesn't chase it. You go with the fastball, high it away on the outside corner. That's what you're trying to do right now if you're Miller.
That one high. Deuce is wild. In this top of the 10th. Ready to go is Lucas Carlisle if it gets to him. Miller to Taylor. Swing and a miss! Andrew Miller, 2 runners on, gets out of it. We're heading to the bottom of the frame. Bottom of the 10th. uncharted waters for Arroyo Seco. This time it's versus the Crawdads. Panarisi will lead things off. After him will be Asperger, then Cam Andrews. Robinette, the runner of choice at second. Again, extra innings, automatic runner. This one is Robinette. Not a bad pick, a guy certainly of some speed. Still in the game is Coburn. Ready to deal to Panarisi. Will step off and check Robinette. Squaring to bunt was Panarisi.
Yeah, early. And now the pitcher knows it's coming, and so does the entire Walnut Creek infield.
Infield on the grass. At least the corners. Panarisi tried to get it down. And if they can advance that runner 90 feet successfully, even if they see it coming, mission success for Carson Panarisi. He'll gladly take an out at first if that runner can advance 90 feet and be 90 away from home.
Yeah. Summer League, these guys haven't been playing long enough to know how to run the wheel play or anything, so just going to try to get the out.
Pulls away. That one gets away. Count goes 1-1. Coburn, seeing the bunt, spikes it. See both corner infielders at third and first. I believe that's Taylor at first now. Ready. Checks Robinette. Panarisi shows. That one popped up. Gloved, dropped. Panarisi, will he reach? No. But the runner does advance the 90 feet. Successful bunt play. Rousing clap from the first base dugout. It's time for Sean Asperger.
A great job right there from Panarisi, doing his job. It's the fastball, so you got to make sure you're on top of it to get it down. He's a little bit underneath it, but luckily not a great break by the pitcher, so Panarisi able to get the bunt down, and good base running from Robinette. Now 90 feet away if you're Sean Asperger.
Asperger up the middle, gets through! Walk-off single, RBI for Sean Asperger. He's been trending up. His moment of the summer. Saints win it 7-6 in 10.
Hey, Dylan, you know the 2022 film Where the Crawdads Sing? Well, right now they're singing from the grave because Sean Asperger walks it off. Great job. Yes, he gets it on the ground, but as they've done all day, to the left side, up the middle, past the drawn-in infield, gets the job done. And how about the Saints? Let's give them a ton of credit. Down 5-1 in this game. So easy to roll over and just say their season's over, right? They've had so many tough moments. You talk about blowing the 8-0 lead at Slow, the 5-run ninth-inning lead against the Barons 3 weeks ago. Here today, down 5-1. Yesterday against the Bombers. So many things have not gone well for the Saints, but give them credit. The late 3-run double, clawing their way back, get it to 6-5. They blow the lead in the ninth inning, but still stay within themselves, and then they get the runner over, get him in, just putting on an absolute clinic and a huge victory to keep their season alive here in Extras.
Willing, wanting, and now winning. Breaking the 2-game loss streak for Arroyo Seco. Asperger, the hero. What a game.
Absolutely.
Just an unbelievable game. Final score of 7-6, and it was just back and forth. We'll break this down for a second. Crawdads out in front early. They struck first, had that long bus ride, didn't seem to phase them all too much. And we're up 5-1 at one point. What switched for Arroyo Seco to get back in this one?
You know what? I honestly believe that throughout this entire game, they were taking really good at-bats. You look at the starter today. He was super good. Alessandro Martinez, the breaking balls, the fastballs, kept him off balance, but they still put some at-bats. They hit into 3 double plays still. And what that tells me is that they were still keeping and putting together really good at-bats. They just couldn't cash in these runners. But they knocked Martinez out of the game. They put get him up to a good pitch count. You come in with the relievers. These guys for Walnut Creek, yes, they had good stuff, but maybe not the best command, and the Saints take advantage of it. You talk about the late RBI double as the big one, but there was so much stuff that led up to it. And even in the 5-1 deficit, I think maybe we both felt that they were taking good at-bats. They just weren't getting rewarded for it a lot of the times. A couple of nice defensive plays, a couple of balls hit right at fielders, but You just got to stay patient, stay with it. It's a long game. We've talked about it. It's a short season, but 9 innings here in this game. You stay with it. You keep within the game. And you get into the 10th inning, and you give yourself a really good shot after, how about Andrew Miller? Really good. 8th, 9th, 10th. Yes, he gives up the run, but a great job to keep the Saints offense and give them a great shot in each of those innings, and they come through in the 10th.
Only one run from this Saints bullpen all night long. Something about Wednesday for the pen, it just makes sense. That'll do it for us here tonight. 10 innings of great baseball. A Saints win, 7-6. Sean Asperger, RBI single to end it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Royal Seco Strain streaming network. For Max Langer, I'm Dylan DeCesare. Final score, 7-6 from Pasadena. See you tomorrow.